But I cried so hard. I've never cried that much. But luckily the TikTok comments in my back. And so I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to sound like, oh my God, like I got spilled on, whatever. And I couldn't control myself. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Welcome back to the annual weekly podcast of Just Trish.
Wait.
The annual weekly? What is it? What do we have?
I think you got to pick just one.
The biannual weekly? What would it be? When they're like, welcome back to the 75th annual Oscar Academy Awards. Like, what are we? Are we at the 75th annual Just Trish week? You know what I'm saying?
No.
We're like at episode 75 or something.
But annual is year. So you can't be yearly and weekly.
Oh, so welcome back to the weekly 75 Just Trish podcast. Is
I think
it
we're at 78?
Are we?
I think we're at 78. I think today, yeah.
Oh, when I was doing my little calculation. Okay, maybe I'm a little off on it. I have to look again. Are we at 78?
I'm pretty sure.
That's crazy. The weekly 78th Just Trish podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like when they say the Hunger Games, like welcome to the 75th Hunger Games.
Yeah, but the Hunger Games are every year.
Okay, so what are we every week?
Yes.
We can go to one a year, one podcast, one episode a year.
I feel like people definitely do that.
Or something.
Does he still have a podcast?
He posts only like once in a blue moon. So.
He just drops one at 3 million. He's like, that's all I need. Bye.
Yeah.
Those people that do like, not to say he does it, but like the people who do like the bare minimum, I love them so much. The people who just post once and like that's all the money they need and they're like out, they bounce out again. I was like, kind of like, not to bring up Drew again, but like Drew, I was like, he hasn't posted in a while. I'm like, did he just come in and be like, I'm gonna get, or like, remember when Gabby did all those TikToks? She like made all those TikToks, like kind of the manic ones, and then like left for like a year. And I was like, kind of live for people who do that. They just like bounce, they get all the money and then bounce.
And then it kind of builds up mystery because then when Gabby made her return, it was like big news. I mean, we covered it pretty hard.
I wish I could be that person to like disappear for a year and have a big comeback.
I don't know if we're that mysterious though.
I'm definitely not. I need to post like every day. I'm already stressed about having this baby, which the baby should be here any day. And I'm just like, but I want to post right away. And I probably will post right away. But it's just like, I love posting. I can't imagine disappearing for a year.
That would be so wild though. Like the hype around where you're at would be like off the charts. But then it's like, I don't know. What do you do for that whole year?
I don't know.
Just
what
live?
do people do that?
I don't know.
Can't imagine. I guess that could be good. Just like a year off. But yeah, it would be weird. But we're here. We're still pregnant. We're still here.
It's the Just Pregnant podcast.
It's the Just Pregnant. I know. The closer you get to pregnancy, it's like so crazy. I was thinking about that even when I was going to the bathroom. I was just like, what if my water breaks now? You just like never know. And then what happens? You just stop, or you have time after your water breaks to get to the hotel. So like, I guess we could, or to the hotel, to the hospital. My brain is literally fried. I don't know why. And so I was thinking, like, if my water did break now, I guess we could make it through the hot topics and then go after it. Because I think you have 12 to 24 hours, I think, to make it there. I would do it. I would push through. Because I didn't know. I was like, gosh, I don't know. And then I didn't even know if I was glamming today. And then it was just a whole thing. So don't come for me for my look. I didn't have a look plan, but I feel like this kind of is giving courage because I had no look plan. I already had the wig. I had the sweater and the dress because it's Fashion Nova. And I was just like, I guess it's giving Kim K, but then Kim K's canceled this week. She's like losing followers, so please don't cancel me just because I'm dressed like her. I know I look like her, but you don't need to unsubscribe from this because I'm not. I'm just Trish. But I was like, what an awful week to pick Kim Kardashian to cosplay. I'm so sorry. It does not reflect my opinions or opinions of this show.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't even get to the sponsors. We have no sponsors, but we do have our Patreon. And Patreon is, can I say, popping. Me and Oscar went hardcore last week on Patreon.
Yes, it was so fun.
We did like 4 videos, 2 separate days. We were really dedicated.
Yeah.
We like drove to North Hollywood. We got free banging. We got to talk about that. But before we do, patreon.com/justtrish. Babe, you already know. Show that headshot of the month. The headshot of the month is actually a body shot of the month. I wanted to give you pregnancy realness, okay? This might be my last pregnancy, so I really wanted to give body, belly, all of it. So we're giving pregnancy realness. And then the sticker of the month is actually a new Trish emoji. We have to give it to Jimmy to edit in because we don't have it yet, but it's a pregnancy Trish emoji. So if you want to get the last of the pregnant Trish lore, I guess this is it. Patreon.com/justtrish for the headshot and the producer tier. You also get handwritten cards and name in the credits if you're a producer. But what's really cool, I'm going to give it to the bottoms this week because we really have some great video footage. The one being the Dramageddon reaction.
My favorite video that we've done ever, I think.
I had so much fun. I honestly, we spent an hour just on the first video because the first video is like 45 minutes, but we're kind of doing it in sagas because I'm like, I just want to like really savor all of it.
Yes, I know. The original plan was to watch all of the Dramageddon videos in one sitting. I'm like, they're kind of long, but we'll just skip through it. But that first by sister one really had us seated.
Spoiler alert, Tati's the villain of all this. I'm shook. I wish Moses was watching it with us because I was like,
I was sad I wasn't there because
you have to see
I
the
wanted
rest.
like to watch. I mean, I think this is your new Netflix show, reviewing this.
We wanted to rent out a movie theater. We literally like, we should do an AMC rent, like
Totally.
watch the whole thing. Because people who haven't seen it, or like if you saw clips of it, like I remember clips of it and stuff like that. But when you like actually watch the whole video, like this is so not a hot topic, but I told Oscar, I'm like, if this was 2019, we'd be crushing the hot topics on this because the manipulation, the gaslighting, and also just the overall weirdness of Tati being like friends with a 17-year-old, 19 at the time, I think, but meeting him at 17 and just having this like weird, like, I'm disappointed. I thought we were close. I'm like, he's 19. Like, this is crazy. You met him at 17. I thought he would grow up. I'm like, he's 19. You met him at 17. Like, what? Like, it was actually wild. And then James, we watched the first James apology, like the 8-minute one. Yeah, when he's like, I'm so sorry to Tati and James, and he needs to apologize to my husband because he put in money for this vitamins. I'm like, this is wild. And the fact that James did it, but then we saw the first 2 seconds of the James clapback.
It auto-played from sad James to like, oh, we could go to stars. It was like
he's like, and full glam, full B. He's like, actually, here are the receipts. And this is what
No more lies.
Oh,
that
no
was
more
the title.
I'm so excited for part 2. And look, if James wasn't problematic in the ways that we just can't forgive over here at Just Trish, I would seriously be tweeting a storm right now, being like, James is the victim. And in this one, he kind of is the victim. I mean, we haven't seen all the parts.
Yes.
But definitely victimized by Tati in this for sure.
It is crazy. Like I told you, I was like full on the Tati train back then. And then I had to get a little bit of a refresher because I was like, what was I like going through in 2019 where I was like so team Tati? And then I forgot how annoying James Charles was in 2019.
Right.
So everyone was kind of just like waiting for him to get like knocked down a peg because he was such a little menace.
Yeah.
Like he was just so cocky and like arrogant and running his mouth where it didn't need to be ran. Like he was like chiming in on things, acting as if he was like the HBIC of the beauty community at just like 19.
No, totally get that.
So I think that's why all of a sudden Tati came out with this and it was like, hell yes, Tati, let's go, you know? And then all the things that were being said about him, granted, it did not age well. Like everything you said like rang true because I'm like, first of all, it's over hair gummies. Second of all, he was a teenager. Like none of this really makes sense. But at the time I was like, let's take James down a little bit. Like let's humble him.
It totally is that. And you said, because I didn't even know how like Shane and Jeffrey got played. You were kind of giving me spoilers because I'm like, how does that even tie into this? Because it was so weird, but it did seem like a deliberate takedown of James.
Yes.
But the fact that Tati was 38 at the time of filming that video, 38, that's 2 years, or 37. What did we find out?
I think 38.
Okay, 38. 2 years older than I am now. Just married, mortgage, all that stuff like that. And she's like upset that James like wouldn't put her in a video. Like she got all that stuff kind of come out. She's like, but he never asked me to be on his channel. But meanwhile, being like, I gave him so much clout and audience for my channel. I was like, it was so crazy and wild that she didn't benefit from James. Like, we helped him. We negotiated managers, me and my husband. I'm like, you guys sound like a little bit grooming, a little bit of grooming. You know what I mean? If you're like doing all this, but expecting something in return, which she was with the guy. You have to watch the whole video because we don't even break down. But I was shook because you guys know 2019 for me, we were like looking at the dates and stuff like that because I was in 3 mental hospitals at the time. It was like February, June, and like end of the year. So I think the last one came out in June when I was so I was like on heavy drugs, heavy medication, heavy like psycho, like I just was not well. So I don't remember any of this, but I was like, gosh, at the time, I wish I could have inserted myself. But then we found the clips of me talking about it on Eat Your Hollywood Story. And I'm like, I would love to know what I have to say about this because I remember none of it and know none of it. But, and look, maybe Tati's better. I think we've heard I think she like reaped her maybe karmatic energy she put out from it, right? Because her company got sued. She had to sell her house. Not to say like she's deserving of it. I'm saying like maybe she's learned a lot. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you're humbled back, you're kind of like, okay, I learned a lot. You know what I mean? I've been humbled back too in my career. You talk, and then you get humbled, and it's never fun, and it's never anything you should wish upon someone. But it sounds like maybe she got humbled a little bit, and maybe she's better now.
I think for all the players involved in Dramageddon 2, I think all of them are humbled in different ways when you think about it. Like, no one really won. James Charles kind of won for a bit because he was like riding high into like 2020 before like all the underage stuff came out, you know? And then that was I think the karmatic response. But at the end of the day, like everyone all the players, it was Shane, Jeffree, Tati, James, everyone kind of got there.
Too, and I'm one too. Before anyone's like, oh, trash. Like I always like chime in on things like Matt Rife. I was chiming in on his problematic behavior, and like you're canceled too. Not saying I'm above it. I've been humbled so many times, probably more recently than them. Like 2021, like so many times. So sometimes you just need it, right? And again, it's not something you should wish on me or I should wish on them. I just think that's just how the law of the universe works. But so maybe she's changed right now. We looked her up. She's still making videos, which slay.
Yeah.
She looks good.
She looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like I literally had to go back and like look at my emails because I was like, when did I order Halo Beauty? And literally I remember I ordered it after By Sister, and then there was a big holdup because she had so many orders, so it took like a week to ship. I think I received it May 19th, 2019. So it was 9 days after By Sister. Oh my God, what a whirlwind. I can't believe it's been 5 years.
Well, it was good timing that it was like a 5-year anniversary thing because I'm like, this is kind of random. We're just reacting to this now. But it was iconic. I do think it might have been a marketing ploy because she didn't get that bump from James, and she probably ordered so much product that she thought she was going to get that bump. She's like, I got to do something crazy. And like, I get it. When you need to make money, like do something crazy. That's when everyone drops stuff. When there's a song coming out, when there's a product coming out, like go crazy, you know? So I think that's maybe a little bit of it, but it was wild.
Yeah.
I've never thought I'd say this. I felt so bad for James. I was like, oh my God. And the fact that he like apologized and that this woman was being like, you owe me and my husband an apology, and kind of just airing out all his dirty laundry. Like I was just like, like it's just like a lot. But especially when he was like 19 at the time too, it's like you kind of feel bad. And like my guess, and this is all just me projecting here, is maybe like James has had a lot of these traumatic instances in his life and maybe is the way he was or is because of it. Again, coming from someone who has a lot of trauma and broken, whatever. Because when those people, we were talking about this, and we'll go past it because it's on Patreon and it's like not that big of a thing. But it is one of those things where I always say, like, it doesn't even have to be a sexual relationship. When you're like that much older than someone who's like literally a teenager, like there is that power dynamic. He was a fan. He looked up. Also, just being older, he thinks, oh, I should apologize. I should respect them. And they took me in, and she kept saying that he called her mom and stuff like that. I'm like, this is weird. This is like crossing, and it's just really bizarre, the whole thing. And I didn't know anything about Tati. I didn't know anybody anything. So I was just like, damn, James might be the victim in this one. I felt bad for him. I wanted to reach out, but there's some hard no's for me, but. But it probably made him feel some type of way. So I'm so excited for part 2. Part 1 is up now.
And I like went through the timeline, and there's so many other videos that like I think there might have to be part 2, 3, 4, 5 because there's a lot. It's like No More Lies, and then Tati has Why I Did It. And then there's a whole year gap.
Isn't that O.J. Simpson? Didn't he write that book, Why I Did It? Yeah, I think that's the name of his book.
I think this is If I Did It, right?
Oh, If I Did It. Still, the O.J. similarity is a little too close. Yeah.
And then Jeffree had a video after No More Lies. So that's like wave 2. And then a whole year passes. And then that's when Tati comes back with like more Shane Jeffree details.
Oh my God.
And then that's when Shane responds. And then Jeffree has another response. It gets crazy.
Do you have all of these videos? I saw Dustin Daly was like, oh, I finally found the video. There was one that she like was never found online, and he finally found it or something. I don't know which one. Maybe it was the Why I Did It.
Yeah, because that one was shorter, and she was like crying and stuff. So if any of them was that one, I saw like a recap of it. I could maybe have to DM Dustin and be like, Dustin, send us that. The file.
He will. I think he's part of hopping on board of the Just Trish. Yeah. So we need to get the details. I would love to interview everybody on this. It's like so wild. Fascinating. I can't even imagine the tie-in with like James and Jeffree and Shane. Like I can't even imagine.
I know we'll get past it, but what you're wondering, like the timeline, because I remember, like you said, Shane, like you reached out to Shane. It was like right after you got out of the mental hospital.
Yeah.
So I think it's because in May 2019, like when it happened, I remembered in the original trailer for the Jeffree Shane series, he posted this clip of him, Rylan, and Jeffrey in one room watching By Sister, and it was supposed to be like he teased that the Jeffrey series was going to like go really in depth of the By Sister drama, but then in the actual series that didn't happen, and then it was edited. It was like them doing different scenes of them watching By Sister where they weren't all in one room together, I think, to kind of make it look like they weren't scheming like in the loop with Tati or whatever.
Interesting. Because didn't he say too, like, I was going to do a whole thing, and then he like was like, actually, I don't want to bring up the drama. I don't want to talk about this drama anymore. It was all
supposed to be in that Jeffrey, whatever, that one before the Conspiracy Palette, whatever.
There was like 20 Jeffrey documentaries. The Beautiful Life, The Secret Life, The Sad Life. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I mean, milk it for sure, but...
Yeah, so that must have been it, because they filmed that whole thing, their whole reaction to By Sister for the documentary, so that must have been why he was like, I can't talk to you, even though you just got out of a mental hospital, I have to film.
Yeah, literally, because it was May 10th for sure. May 10th, 100% of the day I went over, so maybe that's when the original Tati video was released, so that must have been what he was watching.
And they filmed it for the documentary, so...
That's probably what it was, because I do remember... his guy was over there. I forgot his name. The one that dated Gabby. I forgot his name. Andrew, yeah. Yes. He was like over there, and so they were watching it, and I had like no idea what was going on. I was like so out of my mind. I was like, that was not the mental hospital. That was 2 days after I got out of the actual hospital for like a meth overdose. Yeah. I was so out of it. But I had gone to therapy that morning. Who's like, you need to reach out to your friends. And I was like, okay. So that's what I did. And then I was like, and then that all happened. And I was like, hey, maybe the wrong friends to reach out to. But it's wild. Go check it out on Patreon. I want to do the whole deep dive here because we really spent, I was just shook every minute.
You got so into it.
I was so into it.
And you were just like, you got a rush.
I did. That day was good though. I like our Patreon days. We usually get lunch for the mukbang and then we film a reaction video. And that one was just so much fun.
It was so good. It's where it's at over there. All the comments, everyone's living for it. Like, I feel amazing.
Yeah, that was good. The time was good. We also went to Bangin Buns finally.
God, I was craving Bangin Buns all weekend after we had it.
Me too. I literally was thinking like this week, I'm like, when can we go? Even, I told you Moses isn't like a food brought back, but he's like, I would have eaten it. I was like, oh man, I should have just brought a plate back because I probably would have eaten it too. I don't like leftovers, but I probably would have had leftovers of that.
I ate my leftovers.
Did you eat it?
Yeah. And I saved my little pudding. Jamie, we have to insert the clip of Trish praying over the banana pudding because it was like,
Lord, thank you for this life. The joys that your world brings.
That clip killed me, but then when I tasted it, I was like, I see why you had to pray about it. It was so good.
That place.
I savored it.
That is the best place. The best chicken, the best rice, the best mac and cheese, the best fries, the best. It's so worth it. It took me an hour to get there that day, and it took us an hour to get back here, and it's just so worth it. And shout out Bangin Buns, they gave us free food. Honestly, I was so excited. I was like, wow, like a kid in a candy store. I was like, really? Like they gave us free drinks. Like I felt like a VIP. If I want to feel like a VIP anywhere, it's Bangin Buns. And I feel good about helping it because I thought it was like a chain, but I guess it's like a small business.
I think they only have 3 or 2 locations opening, a third maybe. 2
locations opening and opening. They're young. We found out they were like teenagers when they started their food truck.
They're like 25 now.
Yeah, so we did a deep dive.
Yeah.
We were on LinkedIn.
They're all so cute. So I was like, hold on.
After I said that, I was like, okay. I was like, maybe. Okay.
Because also, you literally gave me no heads up. I like walked in there expecting, I don't know, old folk, like some senior citizens. And I was like, these guys are actually so hot. And they're like so straight. And they're like the type of straight guy, like hot straight guy I would probably hate, but then they're nice and also make great food. So I was like, hey.
They make great food. They're nice. And they sent me flowers on my birthday, which, I mean, it's all guys that own it. So I have to assume they sent it. I said thank you for the flowers to the guy. I don't know. I'm like, maybe he didn't send it, but I'm assuming.
So. And they said like happy birthday and stuff.
That's true. They both said happy birthday. So it was very nice. It was very unexpected. We came home from dinner and I got my last set of bouquets for the day. I'm like, who's that from? And I saw the card. I was like, Bangin Buns. I'm like, I went there one time, but I loved it. I was like, thank you.
Yeah, I think it's that one back there.
Is it behind Oscar? Oh, the one to the of his shoulder. Yes, there's a Fashion Nova and then there's a Bangin Buns. I love all the companies sending me stuff. Thank you. There was a time when like companies didn't even want to know me, and now it's like, here's
they were
flowers.
Rejecting being associated with it. You couldn't even say that you like the product without them being no association.
Now people, thank you, and thank you guys. Honestly, it is we're in a good year. It's Year of the Dragon. Everyone's excited, and I love you guys so much. And again, I feel like when you can reap your karmatic bad behavior, like you can move forward. That's the whole point of karma, right? Is you reap what you sow, and you learn from it. Hopefully, so. I feel like I've served my bad karma years. Is there a Taylor Swift song called Bad Karma?
Just Karma.
Oh.
But there's the Jojo song, Karma's a bitch.
Oh. No relation to the two. Interesting, because like Taylor Swift's song is like Karma is the guy on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that's like her good karma?
Yeah. Karma is my boyfriend. So it's like,
Wait, what? I don't get it. Karma is my boyfriend.
it's a song about like Scooter Braun and Kanye West and Kim, like the people who reap bad karma, but she had the good karma because she tried to keep it clean.
Love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I want to make a song like that. Karma is just Trish, my podcast, Oscar and Moses.
I actually love Trisha's version.
I like
That's
that.
so
Okay.
good.
We're going to do karma. I like that it's good karma.
Just Trish.
Yeah. Oh, that's the Jojo,
Jojo
version.
yeah.
Okay, well.
Which could also be a sleigh, I suppose.
All of it could be a sleigh. Shout out Joey for getting Jojo on his little what's his show that he does? What's that called?
I don't know if it has a name, but
Spill or Spew or something.
Oh wait, I didn't know JoJo was on that one.
You didn't see it?
No.
It was this weekend, and he asked her, "Did you steal karma?" And then he asked her, "What's the baddest thing you've done?" And she goes, "Oh my God, did you see this clip where she's like,
Wait.
I shouldn't even be admitting." Wait, you didn't see it?
I did not see this at all.
It was all over but the sound was all over my For You page, and I thought it was from like SNL or something, but it was really JoJo, and Joey was asking the questions. He did the same kind of setup he did with Daniel.
Oh, the one that got Daniel in
the Connor Franta.
beat.
So he did like
Lord,
another
he's
one.
setting all the girls up. That is what?
I know. For someone who's like to be messy, he's gonna just like to expose the messy. But he did JoJo. She's like, yeah. He's like, what's the baddest thing? She's like, oh my God, I shouldn't even be admitting this. She says, well. One time, she's like, I was eating JoJo ice cream, and I was like, I shouldn't even say this. So she's like, I was eating JoJo ice cream on TikTok, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I'm eating JoJo ice cream, and I'm JoJo Siwa. She's like, that was the first time I was high on camera. She's like, I had an edible before. I was like, oh, okay. She was so scared to say it too. And then Joey's so dramatic. He's like, no. I'm like, is he being funny or is he being good for
she
him.
went to 7-Eleven, bought it, and ate it. So bad.
It was so funny.
She's a bad girl. She did some bad things.
She did some bad things. She was high on camera one time in a state that's weed is legal here, so it's not really even that bad. But we live for it. We love. It's good. I love a bad girl who's not that bad. That's what I like to be. I don't want to be too bad. You know what I mean? But
I wish you could have been on the scene of that video, like behind the scenes, like correspondent work.
Shout out Joey for getting that all the messy tea from these people. And I love that she went on there. That's kind of everything. So how did we get the karma? Yeah. Well, I like that there's good karma too, and that is true. And I feel like I'm reaping the good karma because I feel like I've done some good things too. So I feel like now I'm in my good karma era.
Yeah.
Having babies and
you went through the lows, and then you
taught me a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, it does. Like when you like go through some it's like maybe I need to like maybe change a little bit what I'm putting out into the universe.
And that's why James Charles didn't change, not to bring it back to Dramageddon, but God, it's like that's the perfect example because like that was the warning shot to not use your fame and your clout to like DM guys and
Tati did warn him. She said in the video,
that's the tea. She did clock that tea.
She clocked the tea. She goes, "This might get you in trouble one day." And James
right.
said that in his video. He's like, "She's right." She sat me down and said, "This might get me in trouble." Foreshadowing. So
from all of this, my question is like, where are his parents? He seems to be looking around for parents in the world.
Well, that's what's wild. So Tati kind of calls out his parents in the video too, and I was like, oh my God. She calls him what's her name, Christy. She like calls her. Was that her name? She like calls her out by name. She goes, they came to my house. She had dinner.
Your boys need you.
Yeah, she goes when Chris is that her name? I don't know. When James Charles' mom was here, well, let's say Christy, whatever. She's like, she went to me. She goes, look after my boys, and I had to tell her, I'm giving them back to you. I can't do it anymore.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what?
A foster kid.
Yeah. She's like, you have to watch over them. And she goes, that's what I was. And then she goes, you know what? You need to come back to LA because I can't do this anymore. I'm giving the boys back to you. I was like, well, this is
There's
weird.
more than one?
There's two. Yeah, there must have been two. His brother.
Ian Jeffrey, I want to say. Ian Jeffrey.
Okay.
Dickinson?
Was he like an influencer or he worked with James or?
He was becoming an influencer. He dated Lauren Gray. That's how... Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think he became a model, I want to say.
Oh,
and he but then and during Dramageddon, you have to get to this part, but then Jeffrey started going after Ian. And then Ian kind of left social media, I think.
Yeah.
And moved and separated himself from James even. In that Cosmo, the comeback Cosmopolitan piece, James said, that his brother stopped talking to him or something.
Oof.
Yeah.
But like that has to be deeper than just what Jeffree says.
That's what everyone was saying. Everyone was saying if your own brother's not talking to you, then some things must be true.
Because my sister left the internet basically, whatever. But we still talk, like we're still close. It's not, just because the internet was like mean to her, it doesn't mean like she's like, I'm not talking to you. So that's what I'm saying. It must be a little bit deeper between them.
Yeah.
Because you can still talk to your sibling if you leave the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little weird. Yeah, that's what the other thing where, he hasn't really like learned, right? Because he was kind of, again, you like think of someone's age and you think, okay, whatever, and they could grow, whatever. But then when that article came out and he's like, I want to be uncanceled, it's like, okay, that's not really how it works. You didn't learn anything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, it walks it back. So that's why every interview, I really make sure to say, like, I get it. People don't like me. I get it. For the rest of my life, I'll have this. Like, you just gotta like accept it, because to say, oh, actually, I didn't deserve it, it's like, okay, then you didn't like really learn anything. Even if it is subtle, if it is little or big or whatever, like, you're canceled for a reason if you learn from it. And if you don't think you deserve to be canceled, then you don't really learn your lesson.
Yeah, I think it's just that's a sign that you didn't take in the criticism. And like I get it, the criticism can be really loud and like I mean, better than anyone. Like it can be like so just like disheartening, and it's hard to figure out which criticism is valid when you get that much and that much angry criticism.
Yeah.
But there is valid criticism in there at the end of the day, and you have to sort it out.
I think almost all criticism is pretty valid, because even if it's something that you didn't mean, right? Like back to my like transgender video where it's like, obviously that's not what I meant, but then you got to like look at yourself. Okay, what did I say? What did I put out? How did I put it out that like made people so angry? Like you kind of have to like just evaluate then like why people got so angry about it, even if that's not what you meant, and like try to figure that out, because that's just part of being a public figure. Because this is kind of the week of cancellations. Crazy. I don't know. We don't like get totally into it, but there was one. We talk about her a lot, Haylee Baylee. There's just a lot of people upset. I get it about the Met. I know, again, poor timing. I don't know why I'm dressed like the Met Gala today. Literally everyone hates it. But yeah, she was saying, how basically she's just a normal person. She didn't get invited. She's not elite because she didn't get invited. And basically saying like she didn't pay for her dress. She's like, I didn't even pay for my dress. Like he just made it for free. But then the designer said he spent 6 days, 20 hours working on this dress. And then they're like, she didn't even say his name in the little clip. So they're like, okay, so you're not like paying people for, it's just kind of wild, the whole influencer cancel culture. I feel bad on some hand, but it's like on the other hand, they do the apology video and don't take down the original content. And it's like, are they sorry? It's just like such a weird world. And look, I know I'm not above cancellation, so I don't even like talking about it. It's almost like, oh, I don't want to talk about it because it could be you next or whatever. But it is kind of interesting how the internet, especially TikTok now, they really like grab onto something. They're canceling Bumble. Like, you just like grab onto something and everyone gets canceled.
How did I miss all Bumble?
You didn't see the Bumble?
No, last week I was so out of it because I was just working so much.
Yeah.
What happened? What did
Bumble
do?
is promoting women. They're like, what is the billboard says
Like celibacy is not the way to go.
Yeah, they're like, celibacy is not the answer. Let's be honest, you're not going to be celibate. Like,
is that why Julia Fox said like she's celibate?
Oh, I don't know. Did she recently say it?
Yeah. I think I read it today, this morning when I was looking. I think she must have commented on that Bumble thing then and said that she's been celibate for like 2 years.
Yeah, basically they're just telling women like, you're not going to be celibate, get on the app. And like all the billboards in LA are like them like happy smiling. There's another one where like there's a guy and a girl in bed and the girl's like mouth is like literally being covered by like the guy or something. So it's like so weird, especially because Bumble was always like, well, Bumble's trash, first of all. Like, no one good is on Bumble. But second of all, they always promoted it like a pro-female, like females are in control. Because it used to be females had to talk to you first.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still like that, but everyone was mad at that. I mean, people get canceled for literally everything. And sometimes warranted, sometimes not warranted. But back to what I was going to say, the valid criticism. Because I think there's always like something to like learn a little bit. And with James then being like, I don't want to be canceled, it's like, okay, but you were, it was valid, and you said a lot of it was true. So just own up to it. Just take it. Take the C, as they call it. Or take the L? What one is it?
L?
Take the L.
I guess that is a good segue into the Matt Rife like being anti-cancellation though, because he's like, you can't cancel me, basically.
Right. And I tweeted about this. Everyone's like, don't forget, you're still canceled. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not still canceled, but he is right. What did he say? Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that like sentiment though. What everyone was saying too, like, oh, you're still canceled. I think there's a difference because Matt Rife is basically saying that like cancellation isn't like a real punishment, and that you can go ahead and try to cancel him, but he'll never have to own up to the aftermath. Basically, like he's basically saying he's like above it, and how like the criticism and like the cancel culture won't actually work because here he is at the Hollywood Bowl with his like Netflix special, you know. But it's like you're at the Hollywood Bowl with the tickets that people had to basically give away for free, so you're not above like criticism or cancel culture.
But he did get 2 new Netflix specials even after all that, like even the ticket sales and
Well, you know what's funny? This girl from Hacks, like the star of it, I forget her last name, Hannah. She's also like a comedian, and she was kind of saying, like, someone asked her like, what do you think about like the state of comedy right now, because the show's all about like a stand-up comic, and she's like, you know what, like you can say like you're transphobic, like you're homophobic, like you're misogynist, anti-women like jokes, and guess what, you're still gonna play out to like a whole theater. So to sit there and try to say that you have to be careful about what you say when you're like also playing to a sold out show, it's like, it's BS. So I don't want to hear it, basically, you know?
Yeah.
And that's very like Matt Rife coded, because he's like, you can't have it both ways. You're complaining that like you're too attractive and no one wants to hear your jokes, but then you go out on a stage of people who paid like $1 to come see you because they couldn't resell the tickets for anything. Like literally, like Wendy's nuggets are more expensive than your tickets.
Shout out Wendy's nuggets. I want that bucket.
Me too.
If it's real, I don't know. But okay, so but right, I get what you're saying there, but it's like, okay, his specials and stuff, he's still getting money. He's still getting money from Netflix and stuff.
He's still getting money, but it's also like, you imagine the success he could have had if he didn't like choose to be controversial and problematic, you know? Like, I think there would be so much more opportunity, because like looking at his like the price of his tickets on his different tours, they're all pretty cheap. Like this one that he did for Netflix at the Hollywood Bowl, like the tickets were selling for like $5. The only place that was actually expensive was like Canada, where it was like over 100, but everywhere else it was like 20 and down.
Canadians, your taste. What is happening up there?
But and then in the special, he like Variety, I guess, like had a reporter in for her sit in on a special, and he was like said transphobic jokes there again. Jokes about DV again.
No, it was that's what I was discussing about it, because that was my retweet. Is like, I'm like, he's kind of right in the sense like he's still getting deals from Netflix, which is like crazy, because it's like, if you like his cancellation was pretty bad, but the fact that he went up and like doubled down on those jokes about domestic violence, like that's pretty. And the transphobic ones, I'm like, you're just kind of a piece of shit then, because it's like, I just feel like those jokes just like bring hatred, right? You're just like a straight white guy and you're just like inciting hate, and like his audience maybe is, I don't know what his audience is anymore, but if it's like those kind of people he's attracting now, it's like you're just spreading more hate, so you're getting more of those ignorant people. I don't know, I just think that that's a person. I don't know, because it's like no longer jokes, it's kind of like you're just being hateful, and it's like not funny. And I just was like, ugh. And it just the reason I agreed with him is like, because cancellation, right? Like, it is real. You do see people that get like 20,000 views, right? And like that is a form of cancellation when people stop watching you, and you stop getting brand deals. And I've definitely been there, so it's real to a certain degree. I think he just hasn't experienced it fully.
Yeah,
I think he will. Again, not wishing it on him. I think something will catch up. You see this kind of flash in the pan. Not that he's like a flash in the pan, but you kind of see people get really big. It's kind of like Dane Cook. I mean, he makes a lot of money. So again, it's like, what do you consider cancellation? Like going broke? Like, is he going to go broke? Probably not. Like, but like Dane Cook definitely was canceled in my opinion, right? Because he doesn't get hired by movies. He's not touring. His shows at the Laugh Factory are like unannounced and like free and stuff. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how it works. I guess it depends on your thing. But I think that guy from Seinfeld was definitely canceled, that Kramer, because he was kind of like popular, and then he had his racist tirade. So I think there's forms of it, and people can forgive you. You know, it's also like, you can come back from it. Like Kelly Osbourne, right? She had her cancellations, but she kind of comes back from it because people kind of see her as, what is the word? Like ignorant, maybe?
But semi well-intentioned. The thing with Matt Rife is that his intentions are just like
mean.
Yeah.
He's just, that's what I'm saying. He's just like a shitty person. Like, you're kind of just hateful. It's not like, oh, I didn't mean that, or this was a one joke, I want to say it again. It's like kind of like, especially like towards women, towards trans people who are like going through like so much right now. It's just like
the lowest hanging fruit. Like, if you want to be about it, like be about it then. Like, make jokes about being a guy who bullies like 6-year-old kids on TikTok or refutes plastic surgery, even though we see the before and after. If you want to be about it, then be about
deleting
it.
Comments.
Yeah. But this, like, the lowest hanging fruit that you're trying to, like, make jokes about to, like, the alpha male audience when you are nothing of the sort, like, it's just so dumb to me. And, like, people will see through it eventually. Like you said, like,
I think.
he'll never be poor. Like, he'll always be successful to some degree, but I think you have to know that you're not going to be as successful as you could have been if you continue doing the thing that made gays, girls, and straight guys like you, you know? It
totally.
just makes no sense.
Right. And we kind of talked about that over the weekend, like briefly too, is like people get canceled and they're like, oh my gosh, like I couldn't afford my house, or I have to get back to work, or I couldn't afford like repairs in the kitchen, but I can afford to go fly to Paris to go see the Eras Tour or something. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so are you really, you're not broke, but you know, yeah, you lost a big source of income, and like maybe your income decreased from $100,000 to like $20,000 or whatever, but it's still like, yeah, truly, I think people who like love to be in entertainment get canceled when like no one cares anymore.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if they kept their money or whatever. It's more just like the attention's not there. And I think with Matt, you know, most comedians are like self-deprecating, right? Like they make fun of their own race, their own religion,
their own like sex lives or whatever.
Yeah. Being gay, whatever. But they're gay themselves. Like he's just like goes after like the opposite of him. Like he doesn't go after like the people that are like him or why he was canceled. For me, I always like to self-deprecate of like being like, I'm canceled as this, whatever. But he like goes after like you said, the people that are already getting marginalized and like hate and like actually being like killed for just existing and stuff. So it's kind of
and
wild.
Then meanwhile blocks fans of like Tana and Brooke who like comment on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Like that's how you know. It's like you can literally, anytime someone says anything about you just like either attack them or block them and delete the comment. So like that's how you know you're not actually about it. That's why it makes no sense to me. Like,
yeah.
Like why even?
He's cowardly.
Yeah, because the audience that you're trying to attract, like it's all fake. Like you're not actually like that. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like if you were like a baddie who like degaffs and doesn't care and was above it, then you would leave the comments up and you would like, you know, actually not care. But instead you're probably paying someone to like block and delete these people.
Oh,
so,
for sure.
What?
And not going on podcasts anymore and stuff like that. He's just like so scared of getting, I mean, I think Brooke and Tan talked about that. Like he was so scared of being canceled, even going on their podcast and stuff. So now he just like keeps everything, whatever, on the stage. But it's like, but yeah, being like a hateful person, you're just attracting more of that. And if that's your audience, just like people like laughing at people that aren't you is like weird. And you're not like Dave Chappelle.
If he was truly a bad boy, he would go on Joey's podcast.
Yeah, he would go on that
Spew. I mean,
next week on Joey's.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine?
Oh God. That'd actually be everything. Joey getting all the tea. I love that. Shout out Joey. Straight man news is crazy this week. I mean, literally so many. We have so much to talk about because it's like the George Janko, Logan Paul. We have Dave Portnoy and Call Her Daddy. Like straight guys are really just
doing the most.
A lot. They're just doing the most, all of them. And I kind of live for straight guy drama, actually. Like the George and Impulsive drama. Have you seen that back and forth? Well,
I read about it after you gave me a little tip. I was like, okay, let me look into it.
I mean, they were going, I love when people respond over the weekend because we film this on Monday and we usually get it like after we're done or Tuesday morning. But they were going, even yesterday, George, I don't know if you even saw, did you see George's responses to Logan?
No.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
No.
He's like, it's Mother's Day. I'm going to have a great day. I'm having a great day. But, and then he like claps back. But I don't know if we have to get all that. Any more Matt Rife commentary though?
I hate him. Probably always will hate him. And he is an enemy of mine. But also, I don't really think about him that much. Only when it comes to filming this. And then other than that, he doesn't take up any space in my brain because I really just don't care about him.
You were kind of giving
to me.
You were giving a little bit of baby reindeer there when she was on Piers Morgan. Never seen the show, don't know. He tried to have sex with me, but he's also homosexual. It's like that was like a lot. Never seen the show, but she's Scottish and 40 years old. And also,
I shoot because like I literally leave this though, and like I don't think about him.
Yeah. I get
but
you.
When I actually have to sit here and think about how much I hate him, I'm like, damn, I really like dislike
it gets you like riled up. No, I feel the same way. That's why I kind of like this. Is like for the moment I get so into it, and then literally forget the next day. Yeah, I was like, what did we talk about? We always talk about it when we see clips. I was like, oh my God, did I say that?
Oh yeah, we said that.
It's such a funny because we are in a small room. People don't know how small this is when people come. They're like, that's so much smaller. But it's like a small room with like really bright lights. So sometimes I feel like I'm hallucinating a little bit when I do this show. Sometimes I'm like, what are we even talking about? What is it? That's why I lose my train of thoughts. I don't know if it's the wig or pregnancy or lights. I don't know what it is.
Maybe a mix of all.
All of it. I'm just like, wait, what is happening? So, again, this is for entertainment purposes only. This show, don't cancel us or me.
Well, I guess there's two good segues. There's the straight man news element, or Miranda Cosgrove also had her own baby reindeer moment, I guess.
She was the baby reindeer, or she had a baby reindeer?
She had a baby. she
had a baby reindeer?
She kind of had a baby reindeer moment.
Oh,
yeah.
In real life?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's talked about this before. I think on Whitney's podcast, the one where she's like, actually do curse a little. Like, that episode.
Did you see someone at the Met Gala was like, what's your new favorite curse word? And she goes, I don't have one. Did you see that?
No.
She's like, they're like, what's your new favorite curse word? She goes, it's probably the same thing.
She kind of gives nothing in interviews, but I kind of live for that because she's like, she has her iCarly bag and she doesn't really need to perform.
No, she doesn't care. She's like, I don't care. I love this. So where was this? This was on but this was a while ago. The Whitney behind.
Oh, well, she did a new interview with Bustle magazine, I guess, or like e-zine. I don't know if it was in print, but she talked about how like she watched Baby Reindeer and how it like reminded her of her own like stalker story. And she hasn't really talked about it too much. I think maybe Whitney and maybe that's about it. But she had like a scary stalker incident where like her stalker actually showed up to her house when she wasn't there, shot someone who he thought was Miranda, and lit himself on fire and unalived himself in her backyard.
Oh my God, why?
Yeah, just because he was like obsessed with her. And
who did he pee-pee?
A girl who was driving by who he thought was her. And then the way she talks about it is very odd. I think it's like traumatic, obviously. So maybe she doesn't want to like, go full trauma mode.
She's like smiling. Because sometimes people smile through it. Yeah.
Because even on the Whitney one, like she talked about, it's like, yeah, there was like stuff that he was found with. It was like ropes and ammunition and stuff. But like, she's kind of like laughing about it.
Yeah. What else can he do, I guess?
And in this one, she also like, yeah, like I saw the girl that he actually, shot, and she came out to me and she's like, I don't know if I should actually tell you this, but I'm the girl that your stalker shot instead of you. And it was like a whole,
well, at least she survived.
Yeah. And then she said that the girl like went to do the police report, and then instead of talking about the stalker was talking about how she just got like dumped or something. It was kind of a weird retelling of the story.
Who was retelling? Miranda was retelling this.
Yeah, Miranda was saying all this in an interview, how like the victim was like went to like report getting shot and was like, and the cops were like, so tell us about the guy who did this. And she was like, well, like I just got dumped actually, and then I was driving home because I just got dumped. And I was like, wait, like where's the actual like information like on the case? And I even went to like research to see like where's the actual info, like police report info. I couldn't find much. Like she really hasn't talked about it that much. But yeah, she said that's how she relates to Baby Reindeer and how it makes her afraid to live at that house. Obviously.
Oh my God. Does she still live there?
She still does, and she's looking for her own a new place now. And she says that because of that incident, she goes to stay with her parents a lot. Obviously,
you gotta move. Yeah, I had a Baby Reindeer incident at that house, and I was like, I gotta move at my last house. It's like so scary because it's just like it's just creepy to know like that person could. Well, I guess that person can't come back, but
yeah.
In a way, that's more soothing. I feel like knowing that person can't come back. You know what I mean?
I would just be like knowing like in your yard that happened is so.
Yeah. That's the worst case scenario because
Yeah.
he's actually still there 24/7 hunting her. Like I would never stay there ever.
Yikes. Oh my God. Yeah. You remember when we went back to the house that happened to me and we like heard like screaming at like 2, we went back to do our final walkthrough with like a landlord and it was like middle of the day, like 2:00 p.m. in like the Valley, Studio City, and never heard it in our house before, but literally there was like screams, like our last walkthrough of like, and we both heard it. We thought it was outside, but then no, it was coming from inside the house, and we went up to the master bedroom and we heard the screams again. It was like every like 10 minutes we heard like, it literally sounded like a woman being unalived.
Like insane type of scream, like something you would imagine in a sci-fi movie, and we were getting goosebumps, which you get when there's like ghosts in the area.
And I've never experienced that.
One of the most. I had a lot of supernatural things. That was like insane. We just walked out of the house. I think something happened at the house after you left, because we left and we were renovating the house before we give it back.
Yeah,
something happened there.
That was crazy. And I was just like, and that's where I had all my stalker incidences and stuff like that, like really scary. I had a lot. I had like overdose incidents. I had a lot of stuff happen at the house.
I ran all over the house to see if there was a radio on or a TV. The house was empty. We moved out. Like there were paintings.
It was our final day.
Painting the house. So nothing on the walls, nothing. And I was running around. I was like, I got to find something. There must be a radio or TV on. Something somewhere making this noise. It was insane. We walked outside, walked around the house to see if the neighbors. It was wild.
That was scary. So probably the same kind of thing, like you said, like the energies are still there. It's like, gotta move immediately. Yeah, there's something like that. I always did. Even when I got like my Lamborghini stolen from my apartment, I was like moving. Like anytime that something happens, it's like crazy like that. I mean, yeah. And she can. I mean, I know not everyone can economically, but she probably could just move.
Totally. And yeah, I'm surprised that she still stayed there after that. She's really interesting to me because she is like so private. Like she doesn't really do press unless she like has to for like something she's promoting. Obviously, like right now she's promoting like her new Netflix movie.
Oh, is it like a comedy or what?
It's like a Mother's Day. It was like a Mother's Day comedy. Something Bride. I forgot.
How come we didn't get her on the podcast?
She wouldn't. I don't think she would say much.
I would. But she does. Like the Whitney one, she kind of said a lot. I was like,
she's
okay.
like really good friends with Whitney. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How random.
So I think that's why she said more there than she ever really
open.
does. But like, yeah, all her interviews are just so like
give us nothing.
Perfectly like PR, you know. That's why I think this was really surprising that she even talked about this again. And
I wouldn't bring it up. I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that's like you can't bring up. Like it's just so. Also, like why? It's just like dark. It's just like dark energy. Yeah. I like never like talking even about stuff like that. Like the guy with the. Do you remember that dress? I was like, is it white and gold or blue and black? And he like unalived his wife today. It just came out, and I was just like, and it was like graphic, and I was like. I'm like, I know it's a hot topic, but I'm like, I don't even like talking about it because it's like so dark. It's so like scary.
Yeah.
Or like that pastor. Just like all the dark stuff. We never talk about like sad stuff because I'm just like, I don't know. And stalker stuff is really scary, especially when that stuff happens. It's just like,
yeah, especially, I mean, she's like, was it 20? She was 23 at the time. So like a 23-year-old girl, like,
damn,
having to experience that and then keep it so private for so long.
I'd be moving back with my parents for sure.
I know. I would literally never go back to the house.
I stopped when I had weirdos come to my house. It was just that one house. I don't know why. There was like 2 or 3 that came. That's when like literally, I was like every time like Moses and I weren't talking, then I would be like ask him to come over, and I'd be like, can you come over and stay with me? Because I'd be like so scared. It always happened when Moses and I weren't talking. I always thought that was sus. I'm like, is Moses planting these people here to just come to my house? Because he would like, we wouldn't talk for like a couple weeks or a month, and then a weirdo would come to my house and break in, and I'm like, and then I'd call Moses. I'm like, can you come over? Like.
No, I would always park in the outside, so they would see that somebody was there. So every time I wasn't there, because obviously if you have a stalker, he's watching the house. So whenever I wasn't there, somebody would show up.
Like right away. It'd always be like when you weren't there for like a couple weeks or whatever, and I'd be like, okay, can you please come back? Every time. Maybe that's why we're together. I feel like I just had so many stalkers at that house that I was just like, come back, come back, come back.
Yeah, I'm the bodyguard, you know. It's like the movie.
You did save the day a lot of times. Even when I had security too, it's like it's so weird. I don't know. Anyways, it's dark, it's scary. You know who gives us nothing in interviews, and I really like, and I want him so bad on this podcast, but there's like every time I see him in an interview, I'm just like, oh my god, absolutely not. He'd probably hate me.
Oh Lord, who?
Do you know
who?
Mike Feist. Did you see him with Emma Chamberlain?
No. Oh, at Vogue. It was,
yeah.
Oh, the Met Gala one?
Yeah.
Oh, him and Josh O'Connor?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see that one?
Yes.
Like, a lot of people in the comments were saying maybe that's like his personality is just dry or whatever like that, but he gave nothing. She was asking like their favorite candy, and Josh was like, Jolly Ranchers or something, and she's like, oh my god, yeah, Jolly Ranchers, like love. And then she asked Mike, what's your favorite candy? He's like, not that. And she, okay, but what would it be? He's like, just not that. I was like, oh my, and then he said something else. Like there was another one where he gave absolutely nothing. Oh, he ended the interview. He's like, okay, well, she's like, oh, are you guys like matching? And they're like, I mean, it's Loewe, like, you know, like whatever. It's like the same designer. She goes, oh, but like the beads and whatever. And then he's just like, okay, thank you. Like for the interview and like left it. I was like, ah. And Emma gets like the good out of everybody, right? She's like always
so likable.
Yeah. I was like, never mind. I love Mike Feist more than anything in the whole world. But
well, there was another interview that went viral. I forget which outlet it was, but it was like the Challengers like junket, and Mike, you could see he was like looking away, like kind of falling asleep, and Zendaya like had to go like, Mike, you okay there, buddy? Because he was so like tapped out.
Oh,
and
maybe he's just tired.
She was like, yeah, like, you know, it's been a long day. We're almost at the end of press, but it was like her and Josh were still like kind of high energy, but then Mike was just like.
He hates interviews, I think, maybe.
And even like Josh O'Connor, like someone asked him, I think at one of the Challengers premieres, he was like, so how do you feel knowing like this role could like elevate your career and make you even more famous? And he goes, oh God, that's horrible.
That's so random. It's just like
I think they're just like not really, you know, Hollywood boys. Maybe I don't know.
I kind of love that. I love that about him. But I saw him being interviewed. Mike Feist was getting interviewed by like 2 6-year-old girls in his hometown.
And he was so cute.
Yeah. Then he was like happy and giggly, and I was like, okay, maybe he just is like over, or maybe that just is his personality. Like he's just dry. Because even Zendaya was singing a little Dear Evan Hansen in an interview, and he was giving nothing back.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when she's like, I want to hear you do a little Dear Evan Hansen, and he was like, there you go, like, I just did it. I was like, oh my god, if he's not even doing that for Zendaya, like he would actually be the worst.
No, I think it's from like Ohio.
Oh, I thought maybe it was a European thing.
Yeah, maybe. I thought so. Maybe he does look. We talked about that. He looks European,
English, yeah.
But he's literally just Midwest, like from Ohio. Like I think he's adopted. I did a whole deep dive. I think so. It's just. A lot of theater guys are like that though too. Just in general, they take themselves very seriously. Like Christian Borle, I know we always talk about him too, but he's also very serious.
I think the theater people, they have a lot of judgments toward Hollywood actors.
Oh.
And when they become one, they're like, oh no.
Wait, what? I feel like
no.
that's their dream is to be like Jeremy Jordan. He was the guy from Smash season 2. Do you remember him? The one that dated Catherine McPhee. He was like the young kid, kind of like the one that's like, whatever. Anyways, he was supposed to be in Greatest Showman as Zac Efron's part, and I guess they went with Zac Efron because he's a bigger name. But he was like still bitter, not bitter, but still like upset about it. He always tells the story and whatever how they went with a big Hollywood name. But I feel like their dream is to be Hollywood. You don't think so? Or you think they just think they're better?
I think it's the group that didn't become Hollywood, so naturally they.
But Mike Faist is Hollywood now. Like he's so mainstream.
Right. So now he's like, oh no, I turned my back on my roots. And
That's interesting.
all of my friends think I'm, now I'm this a-hole Hollywood star.
Oh, he's trying not to be that, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I see that.
Just
Yeah,
a
Broadway
theory.
people don't translate to mainstream. It is interesting. I don't know why. But yeah, they probably think they're more talented. I always get that vibe. I want to be on Broadway, so I don't want to give anything. But I feel like theater people, and you know what? To their credit, they are probably more talented than everybody
It's
because
totally different set of skills. I mean, to go up every night and act your thing and sing and dance and all that. I mean, it's a completely different set of skills.
yeah, you have to be a home run in all those categories. Where like actors on TV can be coached, edited, whatever.
They could be horrible actors and still do well.
That's actually
on movies.
That's the tea right there. So you know what? I give him. Yeah, you're right. You should be snotty because you are better than everyone. No, I do think Broadway actors are better than everybody. So I'll go with that. I think they're the most elite. Not the elite. What is the word? Elite. Not like a rich elite, but like the
Talents.
most talented.
It's like the X game of, like they're the super
The X
athletes
game.
of.
Who's that? What's the X game?
They're
What is
like
that?
the super athletes of acting.
What is an X
Like the
game?
Olympians.
Yeah. it's
Okay,
like-
Olympians. But
The
what's an X game?
You know the X Games?
No. What is it? No, I don't hear from Moses. What's it? Look, he looked to you too. What's an X game?
You know the X game.
At the time when I was young, it was like skateboarding, bicycle, like all kind of stunts and
Is that what
really,
it is?
really crazy
Okay.
kind of like sports that are not the traditional sports.
Oh, okay. I actually never heard that. Is that what you were gonna say?
I went to an X Games once.
But Olympian is probably what I more meant.
Right.
They're the Olympians of acting. And,
I just never heard of that. Like, I really thought it was like Twitter, like the X of Twitter or something. I was like, there are X games? I wasn't being mean. I was just like trying to figure it out because I was like, what is an X game? And then you smiled and laughed. So I thought maybe we're making it up. I was like, wait, what is an X game? Because
like
he was
the-
laughing and looking. And I was like, wait, what?
like the X Factor.
Yeah, right. Watching America's Got Talent now. I was like, oh, did you get the TikTok I sent you?
No, when did you send it?
The one of the, what's the band in the movie, The Idea of You? You know what I'm talking about?
Which one?
The band An Idea of You.
Yes.
And the song, what they were singing, like at Coachella or wherever they were singing. And the song they were singing is like, Roman Catholic choirs. And it was
Yeah.
the One Direction.
yeah.
Did you get that one?
No, where did you send it?
To your TikTok.
The Entertainment Tonight
Yeah,
TikTok? I
because
do
you
not-
always send me stuff from there.
No, he's
Do
CEO.
I?
got it.
Yes. If you go through our messages, it's like a ton of TikToks.
It might not be me.
You know
Yes.
what? I think.
Because the whole staff has, and I don't use
I
the
didn't know.
TikTok.
I didn't know that. But what I do think it is, maybe I'm just sending TikToks to random people
They're
over there.
like, does she work here?
That
I
is
think
so
what it
funny.
is your phone number must be attached to it because Moses too, when he texts me a TikTok, it goes through the messages on TikTok.
Oh.
So I think when you text it to me, because I'll see the ones
That
you
makes
sent me
sense.
in there. So okay, well maybe I should text it to you then. I was like, I'll just reply, I guess, back to this.
That is so funny. I
Now
can
just your
imagine.
coworkers are
Yeah.
getting random ones. Anyways, it's
Somebody
not even
at TT
important.
is like, I have a stalker. I don't know how to tell you.
I'm the baby reindeer to ET. No, it
Oh,
wasn't
that
me.
is so funny.
Oh gosh. Anyways,
But what was the
chapters.
TikTok?
I don't know. What was it? Wait, what?
You were just talking about, was it One Direction?
The Idea of You.
Oh, The Idea of You with the One Direction singing at the X Factor.
Oh,
What's the song?
the Coldplay.
Yeah, the Coldplay.
Yeah.
I love that
was
performance.
bad.
I showed it to Moses. That's my favorite one. They're so bad, especially at the end where they're like,
The
whoa.
vocals are just all over the place.
Oh my God, how is it so awful? Anyways, I know we talked about that before, but it boggles my mind still to this day. Crazy.
Here on the show, we have the brief and debrief of the show.
I know.
It's
Just like,
did you get that memo? Did you get the email?
That's true. This is our time to do our communications, our work communications.
nobody cares at all. Oh my God, so sorry. What do people care about this week? Do we have good hot topics? I feel like it's
yeah.
a mess.
Chris Olsen got ringworm.
I feel what? First of all, what is that?
I'd rather talk about Georgie.
Yeah, we gotta talk about Jordan. But Chris Olsen. I mean, I don't know. TikTokers are having a rough week. He was crying too. I saw he was crying about something this week. I mean,
Was
valid.
it the ringworm?
What happened? Where'd you get it?
He got it at the gym.
Aloe gym?
Maybe he didn't specify the gym, but it sounded like obviously it has to be a bougie one. He was like, yeah, like I went to the gym and I guess I was on equipment that didn't get wiped down. And usually I shower right after I work out, but instead I went to a sauna. So it gave the ringworm ample time to infect him, I guess. He's trying to like be a ringworm advocate, I think.
Okay. We don't have any of that.
So yeah, like, I guess we
awareness.
Need that because he posted like photos on Instagram of him like with his ringworm on his face, and he also got it down there. He didn't post the down there.
Wait, what? On his genitals?
I guess he just said down there.
Was he working
and
out
on
naked?
his face.
How do you get it down there? Oh, ew! What? I'm not saying ew to that. I'm just like, first of all, why? We see it on the face. It's fine. It's like if you have herpes of the face, just say, I have herpes. You see it on my face. You don't have to say, like, also, there's some down there. You could probably assume it migrates down that way. That's wild. Oh, my God. TikTokers are wild. Oh, my God. I feel for the TikTok social media stars because I'm just like, they kind of are wild. And they're just a lot. That's a lot. Right?
I mean, I kind of appreciate that he's like, trying to break down the stereotype against ringworm.
I didn't know there was one. I don't think there's
When you think ringworm, it's like, oh, there's like you think there's an actual worm in you, I guess. Did you?
I want a tapeworm in me. That's what I want.
That's the one that makes you skinny?
Yeah, they eat your food for you.
Yeah.
But ringworm is not a worm.
No.
Okay.
I didn't know that though until I learned from Chris's advocacy about ringworm.
It makes me just not want to go to the gym. And that's where you're getting ringworm.
Again, I was thinking that too. I'm like, he has to go to bougie gyms. My 24-hour, as you know, is a very dubious kind of gym.
I didn't know.
Remember the senior citizen was blow drying his hole in the hand dryer?
Oh.
Yeah.
No, wait. Okay, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Is that dubious?
I mean, I don't think that's sanitary.
Right.
So
maybe you should report it.
He's just so old. I don't know. There was another guy who like had his opened his shorts in front of the hand dryer. I think people are confused about what to do with the hand dryer. That's why I literally just dry my hands on my shorts because that's bad.
Oh, same. Yeah, the ones where you like dip it into, I'm just like absolutely not.
Yeah, I think there was. Maybe I just learned it in a TikTok, or there was a study. I don't know. I don't know.
Somewhere.
But something I saw was that like that's actually where you get the most germs is from a hand dryer.
I can see it.
I totally believe it, especially from what I've witnessed.
The hand dryer, probably the door handle. I always am like with the door handle with the napkin.
But you would think Chris is at like an Aloe, an Equinox. I don't know. So maybe those gyms are secretly the dirtiest because they are so bougie.
We want you to build us an Aloe gym, Moses.
Yeah,
we forgot to tell you that. That's for our Patreon video. Since Aloe won't invite us, can you recreate the gym in our garage?
Yeah, send me some inspiration photos and.
Can you actually? Because that would be so cool. I feel like it wouldn't be that hard. It doesn't look that hard to recreate. We have a lot of the equipment. We just need the aloe backdrop. Yeah. We need something bougie, like bougie water or something in there. The lighting system, maybe.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, garage is the easiest thing to convert. It's just blank walls.
Because I really do want to go to the gym once I have this baby. But maybe if we have like a really cute gym outside.
We should come up with a name for it, like our own name.
We're going to be Aloe.
We want people to think we're at the Aloe gym.
Yeah.
We're gonna get
Looks
sued.
like we're sponsored. No one's paying us. That's the one that's like, stop using our logo.
The cease and desist.
Yeah. What if we do a Just Trish gym? We have the backdrop Just Trish. It's all pink. People want to come work out here.
And it's like more fierce than Aloe.
Oh, yeah. We could do like pink lighting and have our water bottles.
Yeah. And we have to get like people who are like still cool and popular, but like
Aloe's not inviting them.
Yes. Like Tana hasn't gotten invited to Aloe, but
she has to have.
She said that she hasn't. I also like, is she really making an effort? Like, I think if she actually made an effort,
for sure.
she could.
I feel like if she wanted to, she could, for sure. But I don't think she's like a gym girly, right? She doesn't really care about the gym.
I don't think so.
I think she just eats small portions. Because I've gone out to eat with her, and I think she just eats small portions. I remember when I eat with her, I was like, oh man, I feel like this is what normal people eat. They just eat like a little bit of their meal, not the full like meal that I get. I get like 3 meals when we go out. When we get Cheesecake Factory, I get fettuccine and chicken littles.
Oh, that sounds so good.
Right? It goes together, like chicken and pasta.
Yeah.
It's good. I love it. And then he'll get a flatbread sometimes. And then, of course, I eat a little bit of Malibus. And it's just like a whole thing. And I was like, then when I go out to eat with like regular people, I just eat regular, like normal food. I'm like, oh,
just
man.
one dish.
Just one dish. A little bit of baked potato, a little bit of steak. That's it. You leave a little on the plate. I'm going to try that. That's going to be my new goal, is maybe a little bit more portion control. But anyways, the Aloe gym. Yeah, hopefully you got that.
If you have been rejected by Aloe, reach out to us.
Reach out to us. You come to Just Trish.
We'll foster you. We'll take you in.
Yeah. We're gonna be in the workout era for sure.
Just gym.
Well, that doesn't really go. Well, okay, maybe Gym Trish or something. we need the branding in there. We need the Trish branding.
Trallo.
Oh, that's. Right. That's
can you
cute.
say aloe, but just with an accent? Like you can do like you do in the tavern, the aloe.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello, traveler.
That's
A little
our.
accent over
That's
I
the
our
like
O.
that. Yeah.
We pronounce it differently,
I'm here for it.
just so don't sue us.
Hello. It's free promotion. Like, could you imagine them saying no? Why not?
Can you open a McDonald's?
Oh, I think you can. Didn't Nathan for you do that? And he's like, you just say it's parody or something like that. I think he did a Starbucks, remember? And everyone was like, it's parody.
Parody food?
Yeah.
That's a
Remember
good
he gave it
idea.
out for
That's an
free? Do you
interesting
remember
idea.
that?
No.
No. Oh my God. Someone tell us.
If they
What?
give it for free, yeah. Like I can see it. If you
Oh,
give
they
the
don't
food
make
for
money
free,
off
yeah,
of
you're
it,
not a
yeah.
commercial.
Oh, I see. We're making money off our
Yeah.
Patreon. Okay. Just kidding. Well, shout out to Chris Olsen for standing up for
The ringworm
Ringworm.
victims or whatever. Ringworm.
Does it stay
Survivors.
forever?
Survivors.
Survivors.
No, he got prescribed a antifungal cream and yeast infection pills to battle the ringworm.
Oh, okay. So you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still bold to, proclaim, especially when you're pretty, I imagine it's like.
Yeah, we don't want to think about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it's so brave of him to, as
is
a pretty
brave.
person, to show that, pretty people have problems too.
That's true. That is very true. I know. More people should be more open with their stuff.
Fungal
Yeah.
infections.
I'd be more open. That's what offended me with the whole herpes thing is when all those people were accusing me of it. I'm like, I'd be the number one advocate for it because I love to overshare everything. You know what I mean? I could be the face of it. I could be in all the herpes commercials, all that stuff like that. So it's like I was more offended about that. I was just like, wait, what? Is this if I was on Ozempic? I'd be saying Ozempic. I'd be the face of it. I don't care. That's so weird. I would be the advocate. But I'm not going to be an advocate for something I don't have. Chlamydia. I'm like, yeah, okay, or gonorrhea. Take the red pill. It's gone. But it is a red pill, actually. You know how they always say red pill, blue pill? But it's an actual red pill. I don't know what the red pill gets you in politics, but...
I think it's a Matrix thing, no? The Matrix, you take the red pill or the blue pill? I've never seen it.
Me neither.
So
I
I
always
don't know.
thought once.
Yeah,
I
because
think
one
I fell
will
asleep.
wake you up and one will keep you asleep.
Oh.
Which one do you take?
I'd want to be asleep, I think.
Same. Sleep
Yeah.
forever. Who wants to be
Right?
awake?
I already took it, so
What'd you
Which
take?
one did you take?
the red pill.
Oh, you're
Which one
awake.
that do? Or was that for gonorrhea? Just kidding. I don't know if you ever had gonorrhea. So far when we've been together, we have been not transmitting any diseases.
There's no echo chamber here. We
Yeah.
don't
Thank God.
introduce anything.
He was, yeah.
funny.
Because when I was doing OF too, I was always getting checked all the time. But usually it's the non-people that do the non-performance stuff that don't get checked regularly. So I should be more concerned about you. It's usually the professionals that have it checked. You know what I mean? They always think it's the
I'm
other way
I'm a
around.
professional.
Huh?
I'm a professional, just not commercial, but
What? Not commercial what? Commercial.
it's a parody.
Oh, okay.
I have an OF parody account.
Did you actually take a red pill one time or are you just saying this?
I'm just saying, like you said, if you choose to stay asleep in life or be awakened.
Okay, got it. But did you actually take a red pill?
I think it's a metaphor.
But I'm saying I took an actual red pill for gonorrhea. Have you ever taken one?
No, I'm talking about the politics one.
Okay, well, that's what I was
Matrix pill.
asking. I was like, maybe that was just for something else. I mean, red pills probably come in all form for antibiotics, but I don't know.
I think my one of my Adderalls is blue. My other one is
Oh.
red and pink. Oh,
Pretty. Love that. Red and pink?
yeah,
The
it's like
pink
half
pill.
pink, half red.
Ooh.
The split in the middle.
It's very Pepto-Bismol, I think, does that too.
I think aren't they just pink?
Actually, never taken a Pepto-Bismol pill.
You haven't?
I've always taken it in the jug.
Oh, I don't like the texture of Pepto-Bismol, so I take the pill.
I love cough syrups and stuff. I actually
I
love them.
hate cough
Really?
syrup. I'm like a baby about it.
I love them. They taste good.
No, I hate it.
I love the honey texture of it all.
Ooh, no.
Really?
The Pepto-Bismol is also thicker and weirdly creamier. Oh, I don't live for that.
We should do a
texture.
Patreon video trying all the different liquids out there when we're sick one day. Just try all of them. I don't know if that's safe. I guess probably not, but that'd be fun. I love coming up with Patreon videos. It's so fun. I'm just really into Dramageddon. It's really consuming me. I want to watch the other ones.
I know. I literally cannot wait.
That's all I've been
to
thinking
watch.
about. Especially because I think James Charles tweeted over the weekend. Someone had the cross streets. Did you see that?
Yes, it was. What was it? Dick and Cock.
Yeah, and he's like time and place. That was wild. The prelude to the time and place, what she was saying. She's like, da, 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 and then it's she's like time and place. I mean, but is there a
oh my
time and
God.
place for that? Yeah,
That's my favorite part.
and I don't think there's a time and place for a 38-year-old and a 19-year-old to have those conversations ever.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, thinking about that, like him talking about the waiter and it's like all, if it's Tati's birthday dinner, it's also like 38-year-olds because she said it was like her childhood friends and Jeffree Star, I guess. But
okay, slay.
Yeah.
What a dinner. What a dinner. What a weird, anyways.
Saga, you know.
The saga is...
I love that you're involved in Dramageddon 5 years later. It's
I
also
love it.
so on brand for you. I was thinking about it. I was like, it
decades
just makes
later.
sense. Yeah.
I love finding out old tea. Because I was so out of it. And I remember people talking about it. I'm like, I don't care.
You thought
now
you
I
were
care.
the Dramageddon at the time.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you-
we talked about that. How I really thought like I was getting canceled by
You were.
everyone. PewDiePie was making a video about me. Like it was getting canceled by every single person that week. But
There were bigger fish to fry.
there
I
were.
guess.
I know there were, and I was just so consumed with myself. That's a good lesson too. Is no one's really thinking about you as much as you're thinking about
Yeah.
yourself. You know what I mean? Because it's like I really thought my life was over at that time, and I was like, oh, no one probably really cared because like Dramageddon was going on.
Unless you're like Tati and James, then I think you were the most thought about.
Oh, for sure. Right. If you're right, that's true. I've never been on that scale, so I don't know. Except when my daughter was born and people thought she was a queen of England.
Maybe they did that to distract people from your drama. You know,
I was a favor.
Oh, okay.
Maybe,
Shout out Tati
you
and
know,
James
You pay, the conspiracies. You pay them
to like cover it up.
create a drama.
I know. Maybe. I feel like that does happen a lot. Because that's like this week, it was like Kim was getting canceled, Kim Kardashian, and then Khloe just came out of nowhere and was like, I gave a paternity test to Tristan because I thought Rob was the dad. I was like, what?
Crazy.
Yeah, I was like, wait, where is this coming from and why? I do
Chris
think
was like, we need one of you to say something dumb.
oh, for real, for sure. She's like, I think it's Rob. Then she said something about the doctor wanting to keep her baby after it was delivered.
I didn't see that at all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
After her
What?
surrogate. Yeah. So basically, she was away for the weekend with True, and the doctor's like, no, this baby has to be born 2 weeks early. It has to be born now. And she's like, but I can't come back. I'm away for the weekend. And he's like, oh, I'll just keep the baby till you come back. The doctor said that.
Where was Khloe saying all of this, first of all? Like, where was she?
She must have been doing an interview because there was like all this tea. She was. I saw her like sitting somewhere. So she's like doing oh, it was definitely a podcast.
Joey?
Spill or spew. I don't know what it was. It was a girl. It was like a woman, like a blonde woman interviewing her. She was doing like full on tea everything. Like just so... Like, I appreciated the honesty. There was some where she's like, I didn't feel connected to, I forget her baby's name. Her boy baby. She's like, I didn't feel connected to him for 6 months. Like, I appreciate the honesty of that, but some of the stuff she does like wild.
Yeah, because for her, it's like that's her reality, so it doesn't seem so. But for most of us that don't use surrogates, it's
What part of it?
to be. I mean, yeah, you're detached. You didn't carry the baby. It creates so many.
Yeah, but I
things to
carried
overcome.
ours and I still was detached. That's what I'm saying. I appreciate like her honesty of that because it's like, I feel like when I say it, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're not attached to the baby for 6 months or whatever. But it's like, it can be a disconnect for anyone. I mean, yeah, surrogacy probably is a whole other disconnect. She said Kim didn't feel that way, but I definitely didn't feel that way. That's why I just appreciate when people talk about that stuff because I'm like, you feel like a bad mom if you don't connect right away to like a baby. You're just kind of like, oh, who's this baby? Although she might have been something else.
She was on the She MD podcast.
Oh my God. I love that
Shout
they do
out
all these
She
random
MD.
ones.
I know.
Like the skinny, but not skinny, not fat one. They always do. Like, always.
And her son's name is Tatum.
Tatum.
And yeah, Tatum and True. That makes sense.
Yeah, she kind of was just wilding in this podcast.
She was, yeah. Then she said she lost 80 pounds after she gave birth to True in 2018.
Oh.
And everyone's like, are you sure it wasn't Ozempic?
That's so funny. But T, I kind of agree with her. I feel like really, I'll get back down to the weight I started from because I really do feel like the weight I gain is just baby weight because I eat so much less when I'm pregnant. So I think I will be skinnier
Yeah, you're
than
going
when
to
I
get like
started.
instantly slender. I love that slender's.
Oh, okay. All right. You can't call people skinny. So, I mean, I have to at this point. This is just ridiculous. But I don't eat a lot. So I think I remember last time when I had the baby, I was like skinnier than when I started. And it was quite amazing.
You're right, Khloe. I guess I was really out of it last week because I'm like just reading this stuff and I'm like, she is wild. She's trying to persuade Tristan into giving her another baby.
No. I
Yes.
didn't hear that part.
She wants another baby with ex-Tristan Thompson and plans to persuade the NBA star despite their tense history.
Wait, what? Girl, first off, you have to persuade anyone to have a baby
That's
with you. Maybe
wild.
not. That's crazy.
Khloe was really saying a lot last week, I guess.
mean, they're very much into the, like, we want the same baby daddy for all the kids. Like, they've always said that. Like, Khloe, she goes, I just want them to be siblings, to have the same father. And I'm like, is it that important if, like, the father's, like, not
great.
around?
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems...
And isn't the show coming back soon?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
They
like
gotta
all
hype
of
it
that,
up.
this is all in the show. Every time
yeah.
she's talking about it.
That's what we were saying. I was like, I feel like Kim will talk about Taylor. because she never talked about it.
And Kendall was also on Vogue this past week.
Oh, what did she say? Anything?
She talked about feeling pressure to have a baby because like her family all wants her to have one. She's thought that she would have a baby by now or whatever.
She's still young, isn't she?
She's still young, yeah. But I guess when you're the only one, you kind of feel that pressure, I guess.
Oh my gosh, I feel like when you have her sisters had them older too, so it's like I wouldn't feel that much pressure.
Except for Kylie.
Right, I guess Kylie is the exception, but most of them, like Courtney, what was she, 45 or something when she had her last baby?
But then she also kind of denied being a Nepo baby when it comes to modeling, which is like,
again?
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
girl.
Yes.
This is like the cancellation where you just got to own up to it. Be like, I'm a Nepo baby, but also I'm killing it, so who cares?
She said that she definitely worked her way to being a model and that she was going to castings in the middle of nowhere.
What does that mean? She went to Glendale. She's like, I'm like, Pasadena. Oh my gosh.
You're so right.
Like, what does that mean? Middle of nowhere. She's not going to
Well, she had
Kansas.
to go somewhere. They didn't come to her house.
Right. She's like, I actually went out, which no one does anymore anyway since the pandemic. Everyone just.
Oh my God, it's so wild. But yeah, then this article kind of clocked her because then they put clips of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where Chris talked about setting up meetings for Kylie and Kendall to do like modeling stuff when they were like 13, 14.
Yeah,
So-
no, for sure. I mean, you have to have an in. It's so hard to get into the industry. Like, it's one thing, yeah, you have to work hard and do all that stuff like that, but it's like you have to have ins. You can't just like, even now, it's so hard for me. It's like you have to have an in.
And then, oh yeah, so her first campaign was Marc Jacobs, and then I guess Vogue also went to Marc and was like, yeah, I had no idea who they were, and I didn't really want to be associated with them, but I thought I'd give Kendall a shot. And then Kendall was driven to prove people wrong, so she wanted to slay. And the rest is history.
Was anyone like against them? Was anyone like, no, they have not what it takes? They're skinny and pretty. I mean, that makes.
I know, Kendall especially. She's like skinny, tall.
Who was like saying this isn't gonna work? Maybe me. I could like if I walked for Marc Jacobs, I'd be like, wow, I beat the odds. You know what I mean? But like Kendall, you're skinny, rich, and pretty. So I don't think you were like going against that many odds, but. I mean, I love.
Oh my God.
You know, everyone has their struggles. I'm not gonna, whatever.
Oh my God, that is
Struggles with that. What was she cutting the cucumber? She this weekend pouring the tequila or whatever. I was like, girl, she was struggling with that too.
In Vegas.
Yeah,
with
they look
Kylie.
good. Like we said, they
look
slayed.
So
Yeah,
good.
They're gorge.
It's like hard to be against them because it's also like, damn, you're so pretty.
That's what I
kind of forget.
I know Kim had such a cancellation this week, and I think rightfully so. But also, she slayed at the Met, so I was like, that's what I'm wearing this week.
But no, remember we hated her Met look because it was too skinny.
Oh right. Well, I'm the opposite of her. I'm
Yeah, you don't have the corset, so
Yeah.
you're like the unproblematic Kim. I guess.
I just belly out.
Did she actually take ribs out, or do we know? Was it the actual corset? Like,
I think it was just the corset. She did like a get ready with Vogue, and they showed how.
Did it go in that much though?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, shit, okay.
And she's also like unhealthy. Like, I don't know. She goes really unhealthy to get skinny.
Yeah,
you
she'll
know?
say like not eating, or they asked her how she was breathing, and she's like an art form. You know, it's like breathing shouldn't be an art form. It should be something you just do. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to like practice breathing. But her Mugler one was like that too. The one where it was like dripping wet.
Yeah.
So I guess that's just her thing. Also, I think just the proportion to her waist or her hips were probably just like so. That's what made it more cartoonish or just more shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, it's definitely not healthy because even corsets, like, because you have to train your waist to get that way, like, it's just not good. It squeezes your organs and stuff like that. So I feel like it's just unhealthy in general to promote that. But, you know, that wasn't the worst of her cancellations last week. So I was like, I guess for that, it's like we give her a pass.
Moved on to bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I like her though. She's pretty. It's pretty privileged. Anytime I see anyone pretty, I'm just like, well, they're pretty. So. I don't know. Haylee Baylee too. This looks like Haylee Bailey's dress here. It's just like all flowers.
Oh
Pretty.
That was her headpiece.
I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. It's wild. It's so wild. Like when people, it's so wild too. It's like when people say like they don't pay someone because they're trying to like seem relatable, but also it's like, why aren't you paying people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, why? Especially when you have the means to do so, you know, it's like it's not like a Law Roach Zendaya thing where they like went in together, like they were gonna come up, they're like, okay, like we might be struggling for a little bit at first, but like no matter what, like we're gonna get there and we're gonna help each other up, and we're
I'm
gonna.
sure he's still getting
benefit.
paid.
Yeah,
it's like Chris Appleton still gets paid to do Kim Kardashian's hair. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure they're still getting paid. So I hope that's like she was just saying that to be relatable, and it's not true because that did kind of make me sad. It's like always pay designers.
But you know how we talked last week about the new trend is more like family home cooked meals. People don't care anymore about the glamorous and the expensive stuff. So it's funny to see people go to the Met Gala and the minute after they're like, when they get criticized for $75,000, like, oh no, I didn't buy the ticket. Oh no, I didn't pay for the dress.
Yeah.
I just showed up. It's not. I'm like, no, just own it. Like,
or say you're a normal person. I guess she spends like $17,000 on rent allegedly or something like that. And it's just like, yeah, it's kind of wild. Like I would never say like I'm a normal person, but also I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm like, because I guess she was just trying to like combat it. I think my best advice to Haylee Baylee is maybe delete the original TikTok, and then people find it a little bit more sincere.
It wasn't like a sponsored or anything? Like, is she like contractually obligated to? Like, that's really the only thing I can think of. Like, I'm assuming she went in like a partnership with TikTok because they were like the sponsor of the Met Gala.
She did say that. She's like, I did go with TikTok, but I didn't even go to the Met Gala, is basically what she was saying.
Because that really is the only like excuse. And like I guess also like if that was the excuse, like she should have said that in the apology. So I'm assuming then actually I'm gonna walk that back. I don't think that can be the excuse. She would have had it. She would have said.
They cut clips with her like, I'm just a normal person. I'm not even elite. Oh, she said she like just came home right after the TikTok interviews, but then in the other one she said she just came back from after parties. So
oh, no.
You know, I think you get caught up. And then they showed like a clip of her giving her $17,000 apartment tour and just how much she like spends on it. And it's just like, oh, it's just like she was, I just think people with one bathroom is just like, how do you even do it? Because she had like 3 bathrooms in New York. It's like, so I think it's just, again, I've been there, like foot and mouth, or you like forget you say something or whatever, but it's also like trying to backpedal and pedal it back. It's like kind of like people who also keep it moving, like Michaela, who like never address anything. I don't know. It's just all like flash in the pan. You look cool, by the way. I like your Converse. Sorry.
Oh, thanks.
You look like West Side Story. Did you watch it over the weekend?
I certainly didn't. No,
your jacket looks like that. You like Mike Feist.
You know what's so random? I got this jacket because I was like, I'm gonna wear this jacket for to meet Pokimane because this was gonna be my outfit. I know.
No, you should have kept it for it. Well, I guess she'll come back.
I know.
That would have been so cute.
I'll get a new outfit for Pokimane.
I love it. Where do you shop? Where do you get something like that?
I actually don't remember. I just was at the mall like pre that big chunk of interviews we did, pre TED, pre all of them.
Oh, I see.
And I was just like on a rampage trying to find something. Yeah.
To find anything.
But I invested over the weekend because I guess Memorial Day sales happened early, so I was like, let me actually start buying some clothes. So
does that apply to the Tesla truck? Do they have Memorial Day sales?
Oh my god, I did go to the Tesla store.
And what did they say?
They said the guy was also like, dubious. He was not feeling me, I guess. I don't know. He was almost like scoffing when I was like, so what's the tea with Cybertrucks? And he's like, well, like probably like a year. You're looking like at a year. He's like, they're starting at 100K, but they said they were supposed to have like the 60K model coming out soon, but there's no timeline for that. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
So I was like, because my lease is going to be up. So I was like, okay, so if my lease is up, like, what you think I'd be able to get one? He's like, oh, you don't even have a reservation? So you're looking at like 2 years.
What? Ew, I hate that.
Me too.
Okay,
and I was
Tesla.
like, didn't you have the dream that Elon was going to just give us Cybertrucks?
Yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, so I wish, I almost did say too. I was like, well, my boss said she had a dream that we're
getting free ones, actually. We'll be like Kim Kardashian just posing outside of the Tesla trucks. I see it.
Say, my boss tweeted Elon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Say that next time.
I'm gonna go
that
back
would have been everything. What else were we manifesting? You were manifesting something. What was I manifesting for you? You said something the other day, and I was like, oh my God, that's so... It wasn't the cappuccino maker, was it?
Pasta sauce?
The pasta sauce. Shout out Caboni.
Is that the name?
Yes, babe. What? Oh my God, that's literally the name on it.
That's how you said it? I didn't think that.
What did you think it was?
In my head, I didn't think that. No, but I was saying if I had like a line of food, like or an Italian restaurant or anything Italian food, I would call it 14%.
Oh, no, but that wasn't it. There was something that you were like manifesting. You're like, oh, maybe, God, who was it? I wanted to give a shout out on the podcast. Something. I know.
Baby brain. You can literally blame everything on that. You have to take advantage of the last few days.
Literally, yeah. I know. And I'm eating whatever the last few days. I'm like, what can I eat after this? Pasta. That's why I went to Bangin Buns. What else did we eat last week? Oh, Domino's.
Domino's, yeah.
Oh, that sounds just heavenly right now.
I really milked those leftovers too. Bangin Buns was so good. The Wendy's bucket of nuggets also looks so good.
Is that real?
I guess it's in some locations, but maybe if we just go to Wendy's and ask if they can put the nuggets in a bucket.
I feel like we're on their PR list. Oh, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If they have do they have a bucket just of stuff ready to go or what?
I don't know. Maybe we show up with the bucket. They ship us the bucket and then.
Wendy's, make it happen. We're not sponsored by any of these brands we just mentioned, by the way.
We're just
Pasta
fans.
sauce. Someone sent you something too. What are
Loving Tan. I felt like
Tan.
Emma Chamberlain when they DM'd me. I was like, oh my God.
Why Emma? Is she tan? I don't
she
get it.
Was like the original influencer that I saw at least that
really?
like was promoted Loving Tan. Then they sent her stuff, and then Antonio Garza also. She was on the Loving Tan cake, so I felt like Antonio, Emma, and I love them. So
really knew Loving Tan before, but I think I have some of their stuff. They might have sent it to me. Can't remember.
I need it. I'm so pale today because I ran out of Loving Tan. But when that package comes in,
It's coming.
you bet your bottom dollar.
Scrub Daddy sent us for free. Promo everything.
Justin and Haylee?
They're pregnant?
Congrats. Justin and Haylee. Oh, actually, everyone wanted to know if this was the pregnancy in your canceled episode. Tana and Brooke were talking about like something breastfeeding or something, and then Brooke gave Tana a look like she wasn't supposed to say, and everyone thought that they secretly knew about Justin and Haley's pregnancy this whole time, and were keeping a secret.
I think that's a reach. Do they know that?
It was your episode. I thought you would have the tea.
Did I say something about it?
No,
or they were just...
and it was your episode with them. Someone mentioned maybe breastfeeding or something, and then Tana was talking about someone being pregnant. And then Brooke kind of gave her a look like she wasn't supposed to say something.
I mean, if that is true, I didn't. But if they were friends with Justin and Haylee, I feel like they would talk about that easily. Not that I know of, but also I didn't know what they were talking about. So I could be way out of the loop for sure. Where was that theory?
I really thought you'd have the tea. I guess it also could have been like Logan Paul, maybe, because he also announced their pregnancy after that episode too. Are they friends with them? There's so many people pregnant now. I love it. Baby boom happening. Are they friends with Logan and them? I feel like it wouldn't be hard for them to hear about it, right? Like, there has to be similar circles. And even Haylee, like, Haylee has a lot of influencer friends. Brooke saw Haylee at Coachella. So maybe she did know something. Maybe she knew. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know the tea of it all. But also, I don't know the tea of a lot of things. Sometimes I literally could be right there in person, them talking about it. I'm like, I have no idea what this means. But I haven't talked to them in a while. I gotta talk to them. No, I did. I guess my birthday. They wished me happy. Actually, Tina sent me flowers. Yeah, they wished me. And Brooke sent me happy birthday. Everyone, yeah, it was a birthday extravaganza. I cried on my birthday. I didn't even talk about that, but I don't think it's really that important. But have you ever gotten spilled on at a restaurant? No, I saw your Instagram story. I was gagged. Because also, like, it's like, yeah, the fact that it's your birthday. And that you also feel bad for, like, yourself, but also the person who, like, I felt bad for everyone. Single person. And I cried so hard. I was like, and I couldn't control myself. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Because obviously it was an accident and people spill all the freaking time. But I cried so hard. I've never cried that much. But luckily the TikTok comments had my back. And so I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want to sound like, oh my God, like I got spilled on, whatever. But all the TikTok comments were like, if it's your birthday and you didn't cry, I was like, okay, so many people cry on their birthday, so that's good. But I felt bad mostly because Malibu was having such a good time because this was her first time sitting in not a booster seat. She's only like literally a year and a half, and she's like sits up in these chairs. So she's like looking at the water, she's eating her butter noodle, she's having like such a good time, and we're so excited for the desserts to come. And the desserts come, and like Malibu loves singing happy birthday. That's her favorite thing. She sings it every day. She sings it to everyone. And then when my birthday actually happened, she was like super excited. So then they're kind of singing happy birthday, and like as he was putting down the cheesecake and the butter cake, I don't know what it was, cream or something for the cake, just started like spilling all over me. Oh my God, I was so mortified. It felt like Carrie. So I couldn't see. Obviously I couldn't see like who was doing it. So I thought it was like a hater. I thought it was something. I thought it was like a Kim Kardashian moment. Someone trying to spill something on me because it's like birthday, right? And I'm like and Moses was filming something. Someone's trying to ruin it, and you can't really see in the thing, whatever. Of course, not knowing again, it's the server up. It doesn't matter, whatever. So then I was like, I ran to the bathroom because I was so embarrassed because in the video I'm like, it's okay. Like I just was like so embarrassed. And then I came back. And then my mom's gift to me was on the floor, and all the cream went into the bag. He must have just not known, like it was just spilling out of the tray. He didn't notice that he was spilling. Yeah, he was putting things on the table. Meantime, the whole cream is tray down. Was spilling on her. Her entire right side was covered. My hair, my arm, everything was covered. So then I came back. I was like, whatever, I'm sticky. It's not a big deal. And then on the way there, one of the managers, I think he's a manager, I don't know, he was like in a suit. He's like, oh, someone had an accident, like my daughter did that or something. I was like, first of all, no. So then anyway, I came back, and then it was all over my mom's present, and then I just started like sobbing hysterically because like my mom never knows what to buy me, and I was like, oh no. And so I just started sobbing. And then Malibu, I think, thought it was like funny at first, but then I think she saw that I was being sad. So then I like ran out of the restaurant, so dramatic. I was like crying hysterically. And then when people come out after you, it makes it worse. So like the manager was coming over, then my sister came out with me, and then Moses came out. I was just like, everyone leave me alone. Like, I just wanted to like leave so bad. I was like so sad. I was so devastated. They did comp the desserts, but also we left the desserts because I like, everyone leave. We're leaving right now. We didn't even, Malibu is the only one that she had the dessert. She had a little frosting. Because while all of this is happening, I made sure to put a big scoop on her plate. Yeah, she really wanted that. And she was we're coming back, and she's like,
eating her dessert.
They did call me. Masters did call me the next day, and I returned their call. They never called me back. I was like, okay, well, because that's like our spot, and our server was like our server all the time. Like he's our server. He wasn't the one that spilled. And again, it was like not a big deal by people. That's the other thing too. When I was in the bathroom, I told my mom, like, I was thinking, like, I hope he doesn't get fired because I don't know what happened. To me, I just didn't know what happened. I'm like, did someone do it on purpose? Whatever. So mine was all discombobulated, and then I just like ran. I ran out of there, and then what was even more embarrassing is we left the gifts there. So they called us, and I ignored it at first. I was so embarrassed. We're never going back there anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna just whatever because I'm just like more so because I'm embarrassed, not because of anything. But I was like, so we left, and it was, and the whole birthday I was like in bed because I was like thinking I was giving a birth. I was tired, and so I had nothing fit either. So I like put on a dress. I didn't feel good, and then we went out, and it was good, and then that happened, and then I was just like, and then we left the presents. And then my sister had given me cash and like lotto tickets. So I was like, well, we better go back and get them just in case they're the winners, whatever. And then we went back, and then it was just, yeah. And my birthdays are never great. You know, they're always end in a little bit of a disaster. So, and I thought I was good the whole day because I'm like, I'm laying in bed the whole day. Like nothing can go wrong. Yeah. Going to Mastro's in Malibu, like we go there every month, like not a big deal. Yeah, it was kind of wild. But anyways, that was our birthday. It was crazy.
No, but it was bad. Like it's not like the amount that was spilled on her.
Yeah, I saw it on your story.
And you don't even see in the video like her. And she's just so like, you know, she doesn't want to make anyone feel bad. Yeah. So she takes it all on herself. I'm like, it's not your fault. Somebody spilled. Luckily, it wasn't something hot. Yeah. Or something that is really problem. Or the dress wasn't, you know, like everything
was Fashion Nova.
Everything was replaceable. But it just... I'm sorry it happened.
It was sad. The manager was kind of not nice about it. She was just not very understanding. I was just like crying. I was so upset. But anyways, it was fine. But I feel like we got charged more actually because I didn't get to look at the breakdown of the bill. But I was like, this seems way more expensive than normal.
It's weird because, you know, they came to me and they said, don't worry, everything is taken care of. Don't worry, because they felt bad. And I was like, okay, everything's taken care of. But then I come and like,
I think they charged us more. I should have looked at the receipt, but I didn't look because I was so like discombobulated. I was just like,
get out of there.
Just sign and go, whatever. And so I don't know. What if they charge us more because I was crying and making a scene? They're actually like, this is a disruption fee. We should have looked. That's why I wanted to call back. I was just like, I probably should have looked because like it shouldn't have been that expensive. Anyways, doesn't matter. Birthday was a disaster. I don't know why I'm bringing this up. It was a hot topic. Let's talk about people who actually should be canceled.
We made up for it on Mother's Day.
We did. We went to Malibu. We went to bougie Malibu. Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time. I also didn't fit into anything or any booth anywhere. Let's talk about Dave Portnoy so we can get into beef with BFFs. Or do you want to talk about George?
Wait.
This is my straight point. What? You want to go into something else? What were we talking about?
Just to finish the Justin and Haylee thing.
Oh. I didn't know there was more to it.
Well, my favorite part is that as soon as like the news broke, Selena Gomez posted an Instagram story of her holding Benny Blanco's hand.
Oh my God. People are such haters. People are so haters. It's like, was it right away? It was like a minute later?
It was like an hour later.
God, let the girl live. I hate that. I hate that when like someone posts something and then you post something and it's like, oh my God, this is probably this. It's like, maybe she just posted. Like, what? But also the picture was kind of crazy. I thought he died or something like that.
The black and white
Yeah,
filter,
it was like them holding hands like on like the deathbed or something. I was like, oh,
crazy.
Okay.
But I think it's also because she's liked a few like TikToks of like it's like fan edits of like her and Justin, or like Selena wrote this song about Justin and she's like likes the TikTok and stuff. So she does kind of get, you know,
looped
reeled
in there.
back in. Yeah.
I think it would be hard. I think it would be hard to just hear people always talk about it. I don't know. I think in general too, when like someone has like a baby, you just are like, oh, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think she cares. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I've ever dated someone that's had a baby after me or anything, but I'm like, I don't think you care. I don't care. I just like, I don't know. People will tag me and stuff. Oh, this person, like, I don't care. You know what? I really don't. Maybe if she had like no life, like she's not Selena Gomez and she's not my boyfriend.
True. Yeah.
Like me in 2019 or something like that. But it's like, I literally don't care. So I feel like she probably doesn't either.
Yeah, you're swaying me. Because also, like, I guess she'd be damned either way. Like, if she didn't post anything, people like, wow, she must be really upset.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. Or liking comments. Okay, I've liked comments and I'm always just boom, boom, boom. Just like, you know, who knows? I don't care. Just like, I like whatever. And then someone's like, oh my God, she liked something about David Doe. I was like, I just liked. And then people make a big deal out of it. So she's probably the same way. She probably thinks it's like a Selena fan account. She's like, okay, boom, 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 boom. I don't think she cares as much as y'all care. You know what I mean? I really don't. Or, you know, sometimes you're just scrolling and you just like accidentally tap Those damn TikTok lives, like we going so past those TikTok lives are scary. I'm like, don't ever push inside of one. I'm always like, I'll go on one that has like 60 people in there. I'd be like, oh, Trisha's in here. I was like, no, get me out of here.
I always try to click on no, and it takes you in there. Like TikTok is trying to trick us.
I go so fast. So people look like way into it. I'm sure Selena Gomez does not care.
How long ago did they break up? When was that?
Like,
oh my God,
20 years ago. She was like 14.
No, they got back together 2019, and then he went from Selena the rebound to Haylee later 2019.
Ooh, right away.
I think it was kind of close.
I don't think she cared. Because at first I was like, well, I guess it's always sad. But then I was thinking, like, actually, it's not. Like, if you're like moved on and like she's on a TV show, like, it's just like, I don't think.
And she's like worth $1 billion. $1
billion in a relationship. He feeds her all the time. He says he always cooks for her. So I'm like, damn, like, I don't know. I truly, like I said, 2019 trash, and I'm like on meth and like depressed and have no life. Like, yeah, I'm like thinking about exes. But now I like actually never do, except when people bring them up. And I'm also like, I don't even care then. I'm like, I still don't care. Like, I don't know. Because you're so far removed from stuff. It's like when we talk about David or anything like that. It's like I'm so far removed from it. Or even Jeffrey. It's just like, I don't even feel like I know those people. Or that I ever did, And like you were saying earlier about Matt Rife, it's like I think about him when we talk about him, I guess.
Yeah, and then
but I never think about David Dobrik outside of this. I'm never like, what's David doing? Like, couldn't care less at all. I mean, in a good way, in a healthy way, because like, who cares?
That has some tea.
Yeah, I don't think about anybody.
This is the proof, like, the Trish 2.0, or I guess it's probably like 8, 9, 11, 12.
We'll say 8, it's a lucky number.
Oh, yeah.
People know who I care about. I care about Mike Faist. Maybe if he was having a baby with someone, I'd be like, wow.
I also, forgot your little radish pin. I thought you were going to have one.
I know. I was trying to find your hat and sunglasses. Then I was trying to figure out one for Moses. I'm like, what are we going to wear in June? We'll come back in June with a Met Gala look. I actually had like all this stuff, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this. But yeah, I did order it. It was off Amazon. They had a radish. And then I sent it to Blinged Up to bling it up for me.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No, if I'm thinking about someone. And I always think about the challengers. We were at a hotel for the weekend. Malibu loves hotels. I really think they got that from us. Their little daughter loves hotels. Our baby loves hotels, and she's fancy, and she really does love hotels more than anything. She gets so excited. She gets on that bed. She giggles and laughs. They stole it from us. I am guaranteed. I love that movie. I can't wait for my challengers era this summer once I get my belly out.
We got to learn how to play tennis to really seal the deal.
We were talking about that yesterday too, because we saw tennis courts, and I was like, oh, that'd be a good Patreon video. But I feel like my knee would hurt. Like, she blew out her knee, and she was like in good shape, and I'm like,
we would have to just tap it. We couldn't be running back and forth all crazy.
I think we're more pickleball speed. I think that's for older people and senior citizens.
It's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
What's the table one?
Ping pong. We could do that too.
I think that's more what we
Okay, I'm down for that. We got to dress like the characters too. I looked up Uniqlo. I was like, let's find those Uniqlo shirts.
I love Uniqlo.
Yeah, they don't have the tennis ones online though.
No, it was just for the movie, I guess.
That's so dumb. It's like if you're going to wear it, wear it.
There's an auction of all the stuff from the movie going on now.
Wait, why didn't you tell me?
He doesn't want you to spend the money.
I think it was like either when I fell asleep last night. I just remembered it. There's an auction going on right now of all the stuff, the actual objects.
Wait, why didn't you tell me this?
There's a sign
Where
from
is
the
it?
movie.
A what sign? What sign?
I think like the place where they played, like the
the tire shop.
Yeah.
What was it?
The actual challenge. I saw a shirt of that. That was like the whatever challenge sponsored by Two Piece Tires.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of everything. I know. I ordered like every Loewe thing from the movie. I ordered the purse. I ordered like her little elephant charm she had on the purse, the shirt.
I do love the told you so.
That's so good. I saw a podcast of someone wearing it, and their whole wall and ceiling fell in on them.
Oh my God, I'm forgetting. I know it's Drew and Enya.
Who's that? Who are they?
Shoot, I forget the name of their podcast. It's gonna kill me.
What happened? Like the ceiling just caved in on them, or what?
I just saw that TikTok too.
I was like, wow, okay, Loewe, and then all of a sudden, like ceiling falling in.
But also, they're such like little. They're like very coded. Where like emergency intercom. Shout out emergency intercom. Okay. But they're very like coded. Where like they are always like up to little antics and shenanigans.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm like, but also that's a hard thing to like.
What happened?
I have no idea. I just saw the clip of the ceiling falling.
That was wild. I was like, okay, I loved his shirt though.
But they're so into antics that I'm like, did you set that up? But also that's a hard thing to set up, like a piece of like drywall fall. But it was perfectly timed too.
I know.
She like just started her sentence and then it fell. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be wild. That
I need to reach out for a statement.
Okay, what is the podcast?
Emergency intercom.
Emergency intercom. Are we down on Justin, or should we move on? We still like him.
All, you spilled the tea about it. I'm like, okay, you set me right because I was like, wow, Selena, like you shouldn't have posted that. But
really?
You pulled me back.
Wow,
yeah.
that's never happened. I don't think I've ever been on.
No, you're
on
the woke one today.
I'm the woke one. I just feel bad in those situations. People are so annoying. Oh my god, it's just like
I guess
go.
you have that perspective though because you've been there where it's like especially you because you're also like aren't aware of like a lot of things,
Like literally never think about it. People like to tell me I think about stuff for me. I was just like, okay, whatever. Usually I'm like, whatever you want to think. And they're on such a grand scale of it, but it's like, damn, it's been so long. Like this guy's married with a baby. She's like has a TV show, billionaire. I was like, no one cares.
Yeah.
People just are bored with their lives, I think.
You clocked the tea.
I'm bored with my life. That's why I have this podcast. We just be doing it. Just kidding. I'm not. I love my life, actually. I'm bored in a great way. I guess boring is not the word. What is the word I keep trying to get?
Again, it's drama-free.
Thank you. Drama-free. Well, I keep calling it boring. God, people are going to be like, wow, she's so ungrateful. I love my drama-free life. That's what it is.
Stress-free.
I guess what I'm saying, and to all the people who have boring lives, I don't mean it as an insult. It's like, yeah, like sometimes your life is just drama-free, and that's great, and it's like nice to hear other people's drama. That's why I do love like other people's drama. You know what I mean? Like the Dave Portnoys. And like to me, the Justin wasn't even drama. I was just like, I didn't know about that, but I was just like, God, people just come up with anything. What do I conspiracize about? I don't know. I don't, I guess. I used to.
Everyone copying you, which
everyone
maybe
does
not
copy
a conspiracy.
Everyone copies me. The challengers copying me.
I also love that you call it the challengers when it's just challengers.
It's just challengers?
I always love when I see you tweet about it or put it in your Instagram story. I love the challengers.
It's just called challengers?
It's just challengers.
Oh, that's horrible. What? Is it plural or singular?
It's plural. Challengers.
That's weird because isn't it just a challenger game? Isn't it just like challenger is the name of the game?
They're the challengers at the challenger game.
We gotta learn tennis though.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm down. I didn't know. I have Jax Taylor too. Who cares about Jax Taylor?
Why did you write him down?
I don't know. Do you know him? He's from Vanderpump Rules.
I know him.
I couldn't care less about Vanderpump Rules.
Same. I know. If I saw him, I would know him, but I don't know anything like really about him except he's weird.
He's definitely like over. He had a girlfriend on the show, or wife maybe a wife with a kid. They haven't had sex in 15 months, and he just recently said that like marriage should be a contract that after 10 years you either re-up or you can walk away.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's giving me ick. All of them do. Tom Sandoval too, but also Ariana. Okay, I don't know about any of these people, but I see it on TikTok, and like Tom Sandoval cheated. Like he told his girlfriend, what's her name? Stas? Is there a Stassi on the show?
There was a Stassi on the show.
A long time ago, right?
Yes.
That's what the clip I saw. So it was like a long time ago. He's like, I made out with Ariana in the pool at the Golden Nugget. So he was like telling her basically he cheated on her. And then all the comments were like, Ariana like lost him how he got him or something because basically he like cheated on her.
Oh.
And she's like, the Golden Nugget, that's like the lowest you can go. He's like, I like that spot or whatever. And I'm like, first of all, the show looks so stupid. But second of all, like all the guys on there are just so dumb. Ariana and Tom accused Jax and Brittany of copying them because they bought a house. After they bought a house. Anyways, so I don't know who this Jax is, but apparently Brittany and them haven't had sex because he says she's like not attracted to her anymore because she's like gained some weight or something.
Oh.
Do you know them? They're on the new show called The Valley, I think.
I've seen clips of it. I saw another clip where Jax like they had like a housewarming party or something, and he like pants one of his friends, but he wasn't wearing underwear, and there were kids at the party. So his like schlong just comes out. Everyone was like, Jax, why the hell did you do that? And then the girlfriend of that guy started crying, and then he was making fun of the girl for crying, but it's like you just exposed him to kids. It was like, of course.
Yeah, literally a crime. Literally, like, what are you doing? Even if he had underwear on, that's like ick.
So everything I've seen has not been great about.
Yeah, so I guess he's over this marriage and says he wants it. I don't even know why I wrote that down. I literally couldn't care less. Vanderpump Rules. It's like the pregnancy. It's great. I love it, but also like, you know.
Yeah, I'm not a big Pump Rules. The Valley, I guess.
The Valley sounds even worse. Like, who wants to watch a show about the Valley? No offense, I love it. We live in the Valley. Yeah. It's cheap, it's great, but also like, no one wants to watch that show.
No, especially like I don't care about their version of the Valley. You know what I mean?
No, they're literally the Valley. They're literally like the track homes, which is fine, but it's also like basic,
I guess.
Boring, drama free.
I think the restaurant is in North Hollywood. I think.
Wait, which one?
Jax opened a bar or something.
Man, they all open restaurants because there's Tom Tom.
Yeah,
Tom Tom. We should take. Oh my God, Malibu. One of Coco Melon's friends is Tom Tom, and she always loves Tom Tom. She's like Tom Tom, and that's the name of Tom Sandoval's restaurant. Oh my God, we should go to Tom Tom.
I love you just on all of the Pump Rules people, and now it's like, oh, let's go to
I know. Like, wait, also me like being like, I don't know anything about them. Also, they have a Tom Tom restaurant. I'm Baby Reindeer.
But there was in Koreatown Tom Tom for a long time. There was like a chain of Korean like donut places and stuff like that.
Well, this is in West Hollywood. Is it still there, you think?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But the Pump one isn't.
No, I guess they kept trying to raise the rent there, and then it became like too expensive. Like not.
They
worth
got rid
it.
of their lobster pasta, and it was so good. I remember taking Moses there, like after quarantine. I was like, "Oh, I have a lobster pasta." Like, actually, we don't have that anymore. I was like,
And that's how you knew it was over.
They got canceled. They got canceled. They were so cute. I love that little area of West Hollywood. It was so cute at the time. We should do a Patreon going to West Hollywood, but during the day.
Yes.
Like at noon or something like that. That'd be so fun.
Our Patreon soon is going to become like Mr. Beast challenges.
I'm down, yeah.
We should put Oscar in a room for 100 hours and see what
Yeah. We should put you in West Hollywood for 100 hours. That's the challenge.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be fun. Have you been? We never went out, did we?
No, but I used to live in Beverly Hills right next to it.
Did you ever go out?
Yeah, I used to go eat
You'd
there.
be popular in West Hollywood for sure.
He's the outer daddy.
Yeah. I think that would be the gag. Let's see how many guys hit on Moses.
Do you think guys do... Right. But then what if they don't? You know what I mean? Do guys feel bad then?
They would for sure, though.
Really?
In his
That'd be fun.
case,
We
yeah.
gotta... What kind of outfit do we
that's
put
what I'm
him
saying.
in?
We're not doing that for Patreon. That's not the challenges we're looking
I
for
like that
Patreon.
one. But I always feel like
Let's
guys...
pimp up Moses in Hollywood.
But that's a compliment because there's so many guys that go out and they don't get hit on and then they get like all sad like that no gay guys like hit on them or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No, they don't, because that's not what I'm looking for. So it doesn't make me sad.
Babe, it's just the funness of it. Like I would love to go to West Hollywood and see if people hit on me. That's so much fun. You know what I mean?
No.
West Hollywood's wild because everyone's just like looking for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of the vibe.
And everyone's stealing phones, though. You got to be careful.
Really?
Everyone who goes out in West Hollywood, they always are like, sorry, I lost my phone. I was out in West Hollywood last night. They steal it.
Your phone gets stolen and you get roofied. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's happening nowadays.
Oh, geez. Okay. Oh, my gosh. New York, they're getting punched in the face. Here, you're getting roofied. I think I'd rather get roofied than punched in the face. But, like, safely roofied. Like, not get taken advantage of roofied.
Yeah.
Because Steve Buscemi just got punched in the face. Did you see that in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
New
guess
York is
Miranda's did,
crazy.
too, back in 2020. He was like, he got randomly punched by a guy.
What is going on in New York?
I don't know. It kind of scares me. I want to go to New York, but also I'm like, I'm not going to be walking anywhere.
Hassan's in New York right now. I
Oh
hope
my God,
he's
I hope
okay.
he doesn't get punched. I don't think anyone's punching him. But you never know. Some of those people are on something. They might just...
That's scary.
I know. It's kind of wild. How do you know he's in New York?
Because I follow him.
Love that.
Yeah.
Baby
I get all
reindeer.
this- What else was he up to? He squatted a new weight.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I want to squat. What do you squat?
220.
Damn.
He did like 280 or something.
Oh,
though,
he cannot
he's
squat
more,
you.
Yeah, but he's a bigger guy. Like he's taller. He's more muscular. So, but I'm right there. I'm like,
Yeah, you're close.
Yeah, I'm close. I'm
You're
close.
close to it. I
Yeah.
can see it. He's everywhere. Damn. Hassan alert. Hassan, watch out.
Our straight. I guess that's a good segue. More straight man
Let's
news.
talk
What are
about
your
it.
straight
I
man?
like talking about straight guys because it's like they're never in drama, and I like when there's drama. I like when the
Clock 'em.
boys are fighting.
I love clocking the straight guys.
Yeah, because I always feel like when girls are fighting, I'm like, oh no, but like when boys are fighting,
It's
it's
like,
like
whatever,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Day porn night, Call Daddy.
That was wild.
You watched it?
I saw again clips, but I loved
Okay.
Alex going for it. I'm like, work.
Yeah. I know. Okay, so are they friends or no?
I don't know. She was really aggressive in their interview questions.
Yeah.
And she's usually such a chill interviewer, so it was fun to see her like feisty and actually going there.
She's definitely feisty, and he was her former boss, right? He created Call Her Daddy with her, I guess. Yeah, he was definitely feisty. I love the pressuring of it all, but like, okay, here's the thing. Because I was like, oh, I love this. Like, go for it. Because I think like. First and foremost, I do think it's absolutely like weird that a 47-year-old and a 25-year-old are like dating. Like that's weird. We've all talked about that. You get it. We always say 25 is like the age where they start like their brain starts to mature. Okay, whatever. So I do think it's weird. Just for the record, I think that's like weird. And like I think his like defense of it is weird. He's like, I only hang out with young people, or I'm only around young people, so that's who I get. Okay. So all
Good is not working in a kindergarten.
well, okay. There's
I
that.
wish I had the shade button
I
for
know,
that.
the shade button. Right. It's like, okay, that's kind of a weird excuse. Yeah, the whole thing is kind of odd. But then I kind of felt bad a little bit because then I was like, well, they're not public, right? Like she's not posting about him and he's not posting about her. Look, and also, too, if you're embarrassed by someone's age, which he clearly was multiple times on Call Her Daddy, he was embarrassed because he didn't want to talk about the age. And then even on BFF's podcast, Josh was like, isn't she 24? He's like, you're way off, even though she's 25. So it's also like, what? And like, why are you embarrassed if you, whatever? And then he had to like compare to Bradley Cooper. Oh, how old is Gigi Hadid? And they're like, she's like 29. He's like, oh, and she's not that old, whatever. So he's like trying to justify it. So I could tell he might be like a little bit embarrassed by it maybe. But also it's like, well, they're not really public. So I kind of then felt a little bad for him, right?
No.
Really? Because 25 is not a baby. It's definitely not. I think it's weird, and I still think you have nothing in common. But it's like she's not a 19-year-old. She's not a 20-year-old.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's what you're gonna date, and he is a public figure, so and he also clocks everyone else's tea, so your tea's gonna get clocked too.
But like,
you kind of set yourself up for that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But does he ever call on people like private life?
I don't know. He was for sure saying like. Look at the thing with Brooke when he like blindsided Brooke and all of a sudden he calls her and is going after her about this, that.
Wait, tell me. I forgot. I kind of forgot, honestly.
Remember, I forget the actual details. I remember being upset about it.
Okay.
But,
no, me too.
But
I'm not on his side, by the way. I do think it's absolutely disgusting. I don't want people to think. But then I was like, kind of like, wow, people are really like kind of going in and like, I don't know.
But she told him because he brought her with him to the interview. She's like, but she's here.
Oh,
so it's not like she's in private and she never met her.
But they don't take pictures together. They don't post.
Her, she saw her.
I get that part, but it's also like they're not on camera. She's not sitting next to him. Like him and Silvana was always like on TikTok together. You know, they're public. They're not in derby photos together. You know what I mean? Like it's just like they're not public.
I think what she was trying to tell him, then don't bring her here if you don't want to talk about her. That's what she was alluding to. Like you brought her here, I'm going to talk about her. I'm like a journalist. I
don't know, just because so much of the interview was about it. I loved it. I was with everyone else too. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, yes. Because also ew, because she was kind of like, what the hell? Like, this is so weird. But then I was kind of like, oh, I don't know. I don't know why. It's like, also I think like Dave is like, he has like really weird, creepy stuff in the past or whatever, and he does ambush people. He ambushed like O'Malley and stuff. I don't know. I kind of feel bad. I don't know. I just feel like if you're keeping someone private, like there's people in our lives that are private that is like, okay, if I brought someone that's private with us somewhere, like, you know, your mom, my brother, whatever, it's like, I wouldn't want them talking about them. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh, that's what it was. When he ambushed Brooke, it was like something about like Matt Rife, how like he was basically trying to make her feel bad about like the Matt Rife thing, because it was like right after. Yeah,
he's an asshole, but also they're two public figures. You know what I mean? Like, I'm totally on Dave's asshole side, but I kind of felt bad.
I think they call her that. She basically did the opposite of Matt Rife. She was like, I'm going all in. I'm the girl's girl. I'm on the girl's side, and even though he's my ex-boss friend.
But you're not on the girl's side if the girl's private. I'm going to advocate
for the girls.
If the girl's private, that's not really.
She's not criticizing the girl. She's criticizing him,
and
she's on the girl's side of like young women. This guy, this is not okay.
Right. Okay. T period T. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was like a little harsh, but what else was about Dave Portnoy? There was something else I had to say. There's another one. You guys are clocking me. I got it. You guys are getting it to me. Oh, when he said he's like, I would be open to older. You know, like if they're 35, that'd be great. I'm like, you're 47. 35 shouldn't be the threshold of the old age. Like that's wild. Maybe 45.
That's where you start going.
That's
like that's
crazy.
The bottom.
That's wild to me. I'm like, okay, weird. And he's still married. Dave Portnoy.
Is he really?
Yes. So probably the reason.
That's the weird one.
Yeah, he's still legally married. I guess he said he was too rich, and the lawyer denied the divorce because he has too much money.
You said the judge, which never happened. Yeah. The judge never tells you don't get divorced.
Really?
But I don't think that's a real thing because Jeff Bezos got divorced. I'm sure he has more money than Dave Portnoy.
Wow.
It makes sense. It makes sense financially if he has like a net worth and he doesn't want to suddenly be half of that. Yeah. That makes sense. I think he's just paying her so well that. I don't know. Maybe she's such a good person. She doesn't care about the money. But they're still married. That's weird.
Oh, right. She doesn't care, but the courts would make them split 50% or something like that. I was like, okay.
So they're just going to be married forever?
Yeah, they'll be married forever. So maybe that's why I guess he doesn't care about getting married. But then he said with Savannah, Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's an excuse for him not to get married again because he says, I'm married. Sorry, I can't marry you. Like, I think it's just a perfect fixed excuse that he can never get married again.
Yeah, he's definitely just doesn't
want to I don't think he's interested in getting married again.
Yeah, that's probably true. But also, like, these young girls, like, now we're gonna go on the Dave hate train, okay? For all those who think I was not trying to defend him, I did feel bad from there. But I was just kind of like, okay, he said he broke up, or I think alluded to breaking up with Silvana because like he don't want to like waste her youth. But it's also like you're literally doing that to this person. And a lot of times people at 24 will be like, I don't want kids, or 25, but like later on, like 30, they might want kids. So you're kind of like. Kind of still wasting it. I don't know. I think his co-host, was it Brianna or was it Alex Cooper, who's like, these girls, oh, your money. Do you think these girls are with you just for their money? It must have been Caller Daddy asked him that. And he's like, no, I don't think they're with me just for money. But I don't know. I kind of think so. You know, when you're that young, it's like.
Money makes you hotter, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a part of it. Or maybe he just has a great personality and we don't see it.
I see it. I know. I'm a little bit of a Dave apologist. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all.
Like, I think he has a charm to him.
He's definitely a charm. He built an amazing business. He's a good guy, and other than his dating life.
Is it my misogyny? No, I think it's disgusting. I think it's so creepy, and I'm sorry if you're 47 dating 25, like that's weird and creepy, and I think you're stealing their youth for sure. But like be realistic. Like it probably is like your money and the lifestyles you bought him. He said he bought like his ex-girlfriend a G-Wagon, and it's like, yeah, that's like makes you more attractive. Like they might like you.
At 25, I would date for a G-Wagon for sure.
For sure,
a Tesla, a Cybertruck. Yeah, I would date.
Absolutely. Yeah. Call Elon. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you know what? It is. We had this discussion yesterday because even grosser is Anthony Kiedis. Is that his name? Is it? No. Who's the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers? Yeah, Anthony Kiedis. Yeah. He's 60 years old. He has a 19-year-old girlfriend. And I'm just like, I was asking Moses because I was like, I literally was like, aren't like those guys, especially at 60, 47, okay, Dave's like, I think he's attractive, right? 47, okay, yeah, you can still be attracted to that. 50, okay, maybe. 60, I'm sorry, I've been with a lot of 60-year-olds, and it's like their skin is just, it's sandpaper. It's not cute to touch. It's, you know, that's why you grow old with someone or date someone your age who also has awful skin. Like I'm going to have awful skin. I probably have awful skin now, but it's like, it's not cute. Like 19-year-olds are not wanting that on their body. Like they just don't. And I know that. I just know that there's no 19-year-old that is like, that is so hot. If you were broke and we were living in one bedroom apartment, like that's what I want. Absolutely not. But these guys are like, aren't they embarrassed? Like, isn't he embarrassed? And I was like, I don't think they are. I think they think they're like rock stars and they're like, they can't be touched. But it's like, just like the Harvey Weinsteins, there's all the, or the one with the Kimora Lee Simmons daughter, like they're like actually like disgusting.
I think it's the generational thing, like actually, because I think now we see those relationships and like look at them like, oh, that guy is like such a creep. But generationally, like for them, like I forgot what that generation, like
boomers.
I guess
I don't know.
Boomer. I think you're right.
He's a boomer.
I think you're right. Like I think it's cooler. Like back in the day when like the older guy was with the young girl, I was like, wow, look at that guy. Look, he swung that girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's still that mentality. But I feel like the rest of society is like, ew. You know, like
I mean,
we
that's
look past.
so ill.
Yeah.
It's one thing to think their daughters, like Dave Horner's girlfriend, looks so young. Like basically where everyone saw them was at the Celtics game or some game where they were behind the reporters. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was saying
that. Okay.
That wasn't usually his tickets, and they moved in there, and then there was like they moved again, whatever. And she did look like she looked younger than 25. She did look like literally like 18 years old. She looked so young. So I think that alone should be a little bit if you think that your daughter is weird, but the Anthony Kiedis with the 19-year-old, I was like, that's could be his granddaughter. Like that's what's crazy. And I think he does have a story about maybe Cher when she was like 20 was his babysitter when he was like 14 and they hooked up or something. So he might have like a little bit of that too, but I don't know. These people, I just don't know how they're not embarrassed. I don't know. It's not like J-Lo 50 with the 24-year-old dancer. It's like, you know, she still looked good at the time. Dave too, he's like fit. But 60, I don't know. It's like too wild for me.
Yeah.
Or the one who had the baby with Al Pacino. She was like 30 and he was like 80. And I'm like, there's just no way. She's like, he's so hot. As someone who loves like old actors and older things, there's just no way. I know it's one thing to look at them and be like, they're hot. Like Robert De Niro still looks good. But it's another thing to have a 70-year-old on your body at like 20. It's like disgusting for a 20-year-old. And I'm just saying that as a 20-year-old. But like that's why you grow old together. That's why you date. When you get older, you date older persons. My body will be disgusting and whatever. But it's just like, I don't know. They just should be so embarrassed. I don't get it.
Some senior citizens just have no shame.
They have no shame.
It's for
They're
real,
just
though.
like, I'm going to just keep dating these young girls. But like, what do they think? Like when they're going to dinner with these people, like what do they think? It's actually crazy.
I really just don't think they think about it, to be honest.
This is why we stand Keanu Reeves.
They don't think about it. The only thing they think is like, I'm a rock star. Everyone here loves me. Everyone wants to see me, be with me, have sex with me.
They don't.
That's all they think.
Just because you're a rock star doesn't mean you have a rock star penis. That stuff does not go all night long, ever. It's wild. I don't know. I don't get it. I just love when there's like age appropriate relationships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, not to say whatever. I mean, we're like 11 years apart. You know what I mean? There is like, that's why when he said 35 and 47, I was just like, that's your cap? I'm like, that should be like, this is pretty young still. You know what I mean? Like, that's just crazy. And yeah, the older you get, whatever. But I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, that's just weird. But more power to you. And yeah, I guess on that note too, like the girl, it's definitely not the girl's like issue or problem, but I just have a, you know, I don't know. The whole thing seems weird. And I guess maybe I feel bad for the girl, right? Because she's getting exposed for this, right? Not exposed, but you're just like thinking there's something wrong with the relationship. And I mean, there is something wrong with it. I don't know.
So in that sense, they might be helping her to see it in a different point
But
of view.
maybe there's nothing wrong with it. You guys tell me. I don't know. I'm literally like, my wig is squeezing my head. So I'm not really sure. Am I wrong? Am I like the, you know what I mean? Is it wrong? You guys tell us.
No, I get your perspective where it's like you don't, like, you're hoping that the 25-year-old girl, right? That one?
Yeah.
That she doesn't feel like uncomfortable or she wasn't the one to be made embarrassed because of that interview. I get that perspective. But I guess it's a little bit different because she wasn't like, it's not like she was sitting there next to him, you know? So she wasn't like directly in the line of fire. And it was mostly like questioning, you know, Dave and his like dating history and his track record in general, you know?
Totally. Like, I love when she's like, why are you attracted to young girls? Like, I don't know if I'm attracted. That's just what I'm around to. I'm like, oh, no, that's what you're attracted to. Like, you like young girls. And that's a legit question. Like, why? There is something maybe like a little wrong with you. Why aren't you attracted to people your own age? And don't give me that. That's just what I'm around. And I've heard that before from people. It's like, I'm just around young people. That's what it is. It's like, no. But what about the actual relationship? Do you think 47 and 25 is too much?
Yeah. Like, I couldn't, like, if I was 25, I don't imagine myself with like a 47-year-old just because even like, I don't know, like, I don't really relate to like anyone middle-aged. You know what I mean? Like, I don't relate to middle-aged people.
I don't relate to middle-aged people. Your skin is sagging.
Like, when I remember being on like the dating apps, like, in my 20s and stuff, and then like especially Grindr, you see like the faceless profiles, and then sometimes some of the older senior citizens would have like a good body, you know, but then like you click and then you can see like the hands and they have liver spots and stuff, and you're like, oh.
No, for sure. Okay, yeah, when I was like 21 to like 24, I dated someone that I was like obsessed with because he was like an actor I was obsessed with. He was like in his 50s or something like that. And it's like, yeah, you are kind of like blinded because you're like, you love that person and like what they put on camera or something, you know what I mean? This guy had no money, so it wasn't the money, you know what I mean? He was definitely broke. But it was just like, oh, I see this, like, you know, the movie star and all stuff like that. But when it came down like the physicality of it, like in the time I was thinking like, well, I think of him as like a movie star or whatever, so it's fine. But I do remember being like a little grossed out, you know what I mean? Like a little bit, right? Like just everything is just a little bit more saggy. And you're just like not used to it as a 21-year-old, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I guess looking back at that perspective, and this person I really thought I was like in love with, that I was like, I want to have a baby, I want to be married. But I do remember being a little bit like, oh man, like I'm going to have to be touched by this person, even though I was like obsessed with him. I don't know. It's like such a weird thing. So it's like, yes, you can be in love, you can be attracted, because I also thought the guy was really cute, but there was that weird 50-year-old on my 21-year-old body that you're just like. And same thing when I was 18. The guy that was 80 years old that I went out with, I mean, we never got to that level, but even him, like, just touching my hand, I just like, like, I just was like, oh, like, it's scary. So, I don't know. In general, I guess my advice is, like, older men just, you know, they're not really attracted to your body. They don't really want to have sex with you probably, but maybe they will because they're manipulated or they're blinded by the money and the lifestyle. Or the fame, in my case. Mine was always if they were, like, famous. I was like, they're famous, though. Maybe I'll go on a red carpet.
I guess I had friends that were really into older gentlemen. I always knew, like, my friend would show, like, my coworker in 2019 would, like, show me. And we worked in, like, an office building. And then there was one guy, he was staying, like, a couple floors above us or whatever. And he was, like, an older gentleman, like, probably mid-50s, maybe, like, gray hair or whatever. And my friend was, what, like, maybe, like, 26, 27 at the time. And he was into it. And I was like, wow, you're into like an older gentleman. I guess there could be some allure there for sure. Like he found an older gentleman hot, I guess.
Did he talk about the sex though?
No, I don't even think they got to the sex.
I think that makes a whole difference because I find a lot of older guys attractive. But when it comes to like, again, having the skin, everything, it's like a whole different world.
Yeah, at least Dave is at least like attractive. So that helps.
Who?
Dave, I guess.
Oh, well, yeah. But that's what I'm saying.
With him in this case, the reason she's saying that is because he already said what his interest is. No kids, no marriage.
Yeah.
And then you have this young girl and you feel like, I was in love with somebody. I wanted to have kids. I wanted to have married. like she's not gonna get those things. So
Or you think you could change someone? Oh, they'll be
Yeah.
the one to fall
right,
in love
that,
with
that
you.
be the
illusion of
one.
the ego, like I'm the one, I'm gonna do it. I'm like, no, you're not. And it's
Right.
Some lessons
47.
you got to learn the hard way, though, girl.
I
Like,
know. Yeah. I mean, 47, you can still be young. You don't have the sandpaper skin yet. But 60, Anthony Kiedis. I hope it's that right guy. I'm just saying this
You're
person's
calling
name.
this- yeah.
The wrong person thing.
should
But
look it up.
60, yeah. Look, fact check that. I'm pretty sure it is. 60, the skin is sandpaper. And that's just what it is. And it's okay. It's fine. We all have to get there. But yeah. I don't know. I guess he's doing it while he still
you're
can.
right. Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Whew. I was like, I'm just like accusing someone else of it. Because there's another guy get mixed up. The guy from Foo Fighters looks like Anthony Kiedis to me too. I don't know his name, but he always looks like him.
he went after the interview to his own podcast and said it went horribly.
Yeah, before it came
Did he
out.
really?
Yeah.
And I was surprised because usually he stands his ground. He's very articulate. He's very. That's why I like him. Like he knows how to, be confronted and confront back and all that.
Yeah, respect him
But
for answering.
this time, yeah, he didn't cut anything out. He answered all the questions, but he's himself said it didn't go well. Like for
I wonder-
30%
yeah.
of the interview, I was asked about
That's
my
amazing.
current relationship. I was like, yeah, because
I love that Alex got him shook like that. That's iconic.
She was aggressive. But I mean, I lived for it too. I'm not even whatever. I kind of live for that. I love when someone can just go on the attack mode like that. But yeah, I wonder, like, do you think all podcasts, like, I guess some don't, right? You sign a little agreement before you start filming. So, like, if they can just put in whatever they want, do you think everyone gives their guests, like, grace to, like, edit out stuff they don't want in there?
I don't know. I think for the most part, I mean, from like a press perspective, it's very much like after an interview, like if someone says, so like if because in the interview the celebrity's kind of just talking and saying whatever, but then
Yeah.
after it wraps, the publicist will be the one to come to you and be like, actually, please make sure you don't include this, and you respect it because, like, say if it's an interview with like Sabrina Carpenter and she says something that the publicist doesn't want out there, it's like, oh well, if I want to interview Sabrina Carpenter again, then I have to listen to that and not use it, so
Yeah, they give you. That's true. ET
Yeah.
cut my stuff out. The one if I'm like I don't want something, they're like, oh, they go with it.
Yeah.
The only one that didn't was Rolling Stone. They just had to put like this person decided not to comment.
Yeah.
Actually, there was another magazine that said they couldn't remove something.
I think
so.
it depends on, especially like the publication. Like if it's more of like a super serious, like the Entertainment Tonight one was very like you showing all your bedazzled
Yeah.
in the house,
Wasn't like an expose
Yeah.
or anything like that. Yeah, that's true. Because I was like, it's so odd that like he wouldn't. But like I said, I respect that he didn't ask for it to be cut.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Well,
like,
I
he
guess
could've-
there'd be no interview, right?
Yeah, he said
it was
30% of it.
30% of the interview, and it will be worse for him, I think, having her come out and say that
Oh, yeah.
he asked to cut some things out.
I wonder if she would though.
Because that breaks all of his character, of like being somebody that's blunt and straightforward.
Well, someone who should have edited theirs is the Mike Maniac Georgie. Do you know these people at all? Do you care about this? The impulsive people or no? Did you watch it? You care? You don't know
I
anything
read
about them?
about it. The Celsius thing.
Oh, well, there's so much more than the Celsius. I'm so invested. I don't know why. We used to watch Impulsive all the time when we would like drive during quarantine. We'd always like watch like when we would do far distance. We used to always watch Impulsive. So I don't know. I'm like weirdly invested in a weird way. Did you watch George's podcast? Do you know George?
No, I saw a clip, I think, in the article.
Oh my God. So you haven't seen any clips of it on TikTok either? I'm like,
No.
who TikTok is this? George Janko podcast. I guess he was on Impulsive. I guess he was a Viner. Now he's like really, would you consider him right wing or just Christian? He's just like ultra hardcore Christian or?
Not hardcore anything. I would just say he's conservative and
But he has like,
talks about his Christianity. Yeah, he talks about his religion.
he has like, what's the girl's name from Daily
Yeah,
Wire?
Candace Owens.
Jordan Peterson. He has like all those people on. So I think he's kind of in that realm or whatever. But he was Impulsive co-host for only 15 months. I didn't know that. Only 15 months. But basically it was calling out Logan. There's so much. Oh my God, there was so much. He had Mike Malek on, but they were talking about Logan the whole time, which is kind of weird when Logan's like not there or whatever. But he basically was calling it out, saying he made like at the lowest time of Impulsive, which he was only on 15 months, he said he was only making like $5,000 a month, but he was paying $10,000 to go fly to Puerto Rico to do the show. So he was like losing money. But the big thing is basically he accused Bobby Lee of like sexually harassing him when he was on the show. Basically, Bobby Lee was in front of him and George was behind him, and he would like reach back and like grab his penis, I guess, or whatever. And I guess Logan made George apologize to Bobby for it.
Well, because George left, I guess at some point he stormed out of the interview, and nobody really knew why, and they didn't frame it a certain way. So
They made it seem like it was a joke and whatever.
So anyway, I think that's part of the why he had to apologize to him.
For walking out of the interview? That's why it was? Oh, it was so weird. And Mike was like trying to like defend all of this or whatever. He was saying he made like no money off of it. But then Logan fired back and was like, actually, we gave you a credit card. We paid for your expenses, all that stuff like that. And he did apologize for the Bobby Lee stuff, but he didn't really like apologize. He didn't really like say the full thing, which is crazy. And then George, the Celsius thing. So then George starts his own podcast, gets a Celsius sponsorship. And Logan's like, you can't be on Impulsive if you're going to take a Celsius sponsorship because that's like our competitor. And then George fired back on Mother's Day back to Logan and said that, come and talk to me like a real man, come on my podcast. And I was like, that sounds like it's just for views then. So I don't know, the whole thing, the whole podcast, the George, Mike, Logan thing is like a lot. But what did you see on it?
That wasn't George. He said they had to pay like $10,000 or something to stay on. And the credit card stuff. Okay, straight guy. I don't know, like...
It's crazy.
Sorry, I guess. Sorry that happened, or I'm happy for you, whichever one.
Right. Logan said he didn't, that they covered the expenses. Yeah. And then he did tell George's salary. He said George made $315,000 in 15 months. Is that a lot?
Yes, that's a lot.
What is that per month? I don't know.
It's a lot.
So he kind of came out with it. But Georgie then said Logan made $11 million a week. So.
No, that was... There's something that's just not a bit hypocritical, not honest on George's part. Like he would air out, Logan said he made 11 million in a week, which was very specific for a specific week. But he would air out how much money he did and private text messages. But then when they asked him, George, how much did you make on the? Because Mike was trying to say you made money, you made good money, and George was like, well, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, trying to make it seem.
So there was a lot of some things. It broke. There were cracks in his story.
Yeah, I don't know George Janko before all this, but he seems like a lot.
Yeah, I weirdly am Team Logan, I think.
I was. That's what he was saying too. But then the Bobby Lee like sexual harassment thing, and then telling him to like apologize. And he said they knew, and they were like covering it up or whatever. So
that's very weird.
Yeah.
But I would separate that one incident from the general workplace, because George has so many accusations, throwing a lot. I would either just focus on that one thing. This thing happened. It was really wrong. It's really bad. And that's all I want to talk about. But he was just piling on, like so many things that had nothing to do. So then it waters it down. And you're like, okay, what is your real complaint here?
Well, he also said he worked for a year and a half with no pay.
Which is fine.
Which is crazy, though. But like he was only a host for 15 months. So was he only getting paid? Or he's saying like he worked for a year and a half before becoming a host. Because Mike also said he got paid. He worked a couple of years without getting paid. Which is also wild to me. It's like...
Podcast is a strange space, right? Because they were friends, right? Like Tana and Brooke will have friends over on the podcast. Do they pay them? No.
No, but if you're a host...
Have friends over. So I'm saying like there's a certain like, they're testing the waters. But I understand what Logan said. Logan said, look, I gave you the platform... networking with the most interesting people, being in this
definitely,
like he gave him so many opportunities, and then what do you do with that? You take it and you build something out of that. You don't go back and talk to that person. I mean, David Dobrik's whole world was, I'm just giving you a platform, a networking opportunity, and from here you take it and use it however you can.
Yeah, vlogs I feel are different though. Like podcasts, they were making money. Podcast is like, also you just pay I guess it's hard when you're influencers. It's definitely hard. Right. Like when me and Colleen started, it's like obviously no one's getting paid because you're starting. But like when me and you, like I'm hiring Glam. It's not really like influencer because like influencers collab with each other. So I guess I see what you're saying. Like
what was the extent of the work?
He said he had to come 4 times a month or something to do the podcast. Yeah, he was just a host, I think. I think he was just the talent.
It was, I think,
but I know what you're saying.
3 hours a week. Like 3 hours.
Right.
But I think, did Impulsive need George, or did George need Impulsive?
Yeah.
It's a weird, because like you said with the Vlog Squad, it makes sense to not pay them because they are getting so much promotion. But then maybe they should have been paid. I don't know.
First of all, I think they should be paid too. Everyone should be paid.
Really?
Nobody should work for free ever.
But I don't think that's how it works with influencers.
Right. But that's kind of wrong. But I'm saying that's part of how the industry works.
It's like when I go on Cancel, I don't expect them to pay me because I'm getting like promotion and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's like a promotional thing.
That's what I was talking about, friends, right? She has you on, you have her on.
But I think with David too, I was making like money, so it's like he wouldn't pay me for it. I mean, that seems. I think with like when people do collaborations, you don't pay each other to be in videos. It's mutually beneficial. But if you're hiring someone that's like an unknown person, like you would pay them. Like I'm pretty sure Shane paid that. Remember Jess Buttafuoco, his co-host? Like I'm pretty sure he like paid. I think he paid Drew too. Because you're like paying people who don't do this for like a living, who aren't building, like you're not doing social media for a living. Like it's not like you're, I mean, you can now, but I'm just saying like you're not like building your own podcast or, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But I think with George, they should have paid off. I don't know. I know what you're saying now.
Let me give you a different example. So in the architecture world, you work the first year or two as an intern. You don't get paid. But
they're not interns. He's been a Viner. He's been making social media his career. George was making social media his career before this.
He
was. Vine he was making. He had a house.
It's not to that scale. All I'm saying is like you can see it as some type of a internship to see if you're a good fit. And if you're a good fit, we'll continue working together. And then they did. They paid him a nice sum of money.
That was tough. I don't know. Yeah. I think they should have paid him. Especially Logan, if you're making that much money.
All right. So there was a period of time he wasn't paid, but then he was paid well, right? So if he was a good fit for the podcast, it would have continued. I just think he was never a good fit for the podcast. He was never a good fit for that social circle.
Right.
And that was the main issue. And nothing can change that. So what he's complaining about, that he wasn't fit. He wasn't a good fit. It's nobody's fault. Logan did his best. Mm-hmm. You're not a good fit. That's it. You can't complain about that.
Yeah. Well, I guess he is. He's got a podcast with Celsius behind him. In the make one, he had all the Celsius right behind him. But then, yeah, Logan's like, no, I like supported him. Like he went to do his own podcast. Like I always supported him doing his own podcast at the same time as doing Impulsive. He was just saying, if you're going to support a competitor, like you can't be on our podcast till like you get the deal done and then you can come back.
Oh, very sugar bear hair, Halo Beauty coded.
Interesting. It kind of is, right? Because he's like, you're funneling our audience. Yeah. That is interesting.
Yeah. And also, I don't really equate like Celsius and Prime, because I feel like Prime is like a Gatorade kind of, and Celsius is like a stimulant, right?
Oh, I don't know. Look at you knowing all the scientific facts behind it, isn't it?
Well, I love energy drinks, so that's
you love a Celsius. Well, okay. Well, it's not time. We don't need it. We love Liquid Death. Not sponsored. I actually never had Celsius, so I don't know.
Like it has it's supposed to give you like energy and focus, blah blah blah.
Oh, and Prime's like a hydration.
Yeah, like a recovery hydration, maybe like a vitamin kind of beverage, like a vitamin water Gatorade vibe.
Oh, so yeah, it's not competition.
Not very similar in my eyes.
I also feel like, yeah, does it matter that much if Jordy's promoting Celsius? Like, I don't think it's going to compete with your Prime promotion.
Yeah, because like when it... Let me make it gay. So when it came to like Halo Beauty and like Sugar Bear, I was like, you shouldn't put pressure on like your friend to turn down a financial opportunity just so it's like to benefit you and help you make more money. Like they also need to like make their own money.
For sure that. So
that element.
Oh, and I think he did say that in the text to him. He's like, I'm sorry, like Impulsive's not enough to pay your bills. He's like, but you can come back after you stop. I don't know. Yeah, that is weird.
Because I think in Logan's eyes, George would not have that audience without Impulsive.
Yeah.
The audience is coming from Impulsive. And in Logan's eye, and that's what Mike said too, Impulsive is the main drive of Prime. That's the show exists to basically promote Prime. So then you take a different show, like a sub show, and now it's promoting something else. That's not part of the plan. Even Prime would be like, no, you can't do that.
I guess, yeah. It would be like if Harry Jowsey was promoting Just Trish or something. Like he's under the Collar Daddy umbrella. And like... Okay,
I was trying to relate it somewhere to us. I don't know about that one. Maybe if you started your own podcast
under the Just Trish network and promoted...
You had Oscar emoji stickers. Or Trish emoji stickers. Be like, here, someone on Etsy was trying to do that. I was like, okay.
I had my own like bling cups or something.
I guess. Like, to me, if I was on Logan Scale, I just like wouldn't care, right? Like I'm not on Logan Scale. Like I need the bling cup sales. You know what I mean? So maybe I'd be a little more pressed. But I feel like he doesn't.
That's true. Yeah, you have so much money, but also like $325,000 for 15 months is like also a ton of money. I don't really feel bad for anyone because like that is so much money.
Yeah, too. And George said that he's like, I'm grateful for it, but then he was also complaining like when it was rock bottom, right? That's true. You're not really grateful because now you're like talking shit on Logan when he's not even there. I don't know why I'm feeling bad for these guys. I don't know. Like, I kind of feel bad for Logan, but also like maybe not.
Well, the main thing is they did have a friendship before that, Like somebody was showing videos of them way back, just living in an apartment.
Yeah.
Them and some other guy. And they were like the good old days kind of thing. And they were friends. And
Is Mike still friends with Logan?
You wouldn't tell by this interview.
That's why I was like...
I think so. I think he's still friends. They still do Impulsive, don't they? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I see it once in a while pop up. I'm just like, okay. Mike seems pretty loyal. He seems like there's certain people who do feel like they owe some, people their career. And that's good. I think in that sense, like, because Logan was trying to downplay it as like Mike, is his own phenomenon. But I'm like, no, Mike is popular because you're popular, Logan.
Yeah.
It's just like the Vlog Squad, like you said, the David Dobrik effect. Like, people were popular because David was popular.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, if they can like parlay it into something, it's great. But it's kind of like the Kendall Jenner. It's like, Kris Jenner set up those meetings. So it's like, yes, Mike might be popular, but it's because of Logan. He got the in with Logan.
Yeah, a Nepo baby.
A Nepo baby. Because it's one thing to be an influencer and collaborate and build your way to the top, and it's another thing to just kind of slide in on someone's popularity and then getting popular by that,
Yeah, you're right. Like, I'm trying, like when all the British YouTubers were collabing with like the Tyler Oakleys or whatever. It's like you take a big YouTuber here with one audience, another YouTuber here with a different audience, and then maximize the joint slay, I guess. But then
I love a joint slay.
Yeah, this with like a random schmandom, it's like, it's not really... but you're kind of giving someone a career, I guess,
Yeah,
like,
which is like great and nice.
Yeah.
And if they help you and like whatever, that's great. So I would say if you go on to canceled co-host, it'd be fine because I'm like, well, I did start but you had your own thing going. I see you as being like a full-time influencer one day.
No.
I do see it.
I don't think I could do it.
I would support it.
It's stressful being an influencer, I think.
Really?
I was thinking about it. For some reason, the Connor Francis Daniel Breda drama, when it was like, you will never... the internet thinks of you as Joey Christopher's boyfriend. You know what? I was like, well, no one can ever come for me because I'm just a normal guy working a 9 to 5.
You're
you know
not
what I mean?
normal, though. You're not
it's
anymore.
Like, I love it. It's like,
yeah.
No one can come for me. I'm working an honest job,
I'm relatable.
I can't have like a Haylee Baylee because like I'm just working.
Until you get your Tesla truck and your house out
And
here
then no
with the
one will give
water
a
slide.
damn.
Yeah, they're like, actually have a Tesla truck, so.
I have an honest degree.
That is the real influencer test. Like once you start getting a car, then people are like, you're not normal. You have a Tesla truck. And you're not. Like, you're... I know. It is a weird world, influencer world. I wonder if it's going to be around forever, like celebrity world. Is it just always going to be around now?
I didn't even read the whole article. I just read the headline about how like all the traditional Hollywoods now, they're starting to like invest more and more in like influencers, and then
Really?
like Logan Paul and Mr. Beast, whatever. And how a lot of them, like the executives at all these studios, are going to them now to figure out like what to do because like they're all losing money and influencers are making money. Yeah. So I guess
Well, come
they
to
will
us.
kind of...
We have ideas.
Yeah,
You're a TV professional. I'm TV professional. Give us your money. We'll tell you how to produce. We could do a whole network. Like the Tammy Faye Baker network, just have all just Trish. I already have ideas for it. I would love that. We could build our sets, our studios, have people come in and out.
And we'd be definitely efficient. I mean, with the three of us, and Jimmy, we get it done,
I know. I kind of think that too. I was like, the production is like producting.
Yeah.
What is the word? Producting?
Producing?
Producing. Production is producing. That's what we are over here. We talked about getting headshots in here to put like, headshots on the wall of like you and Moses, Jimmy, me. We could put all our photographers on their glam.
Kind of when you go to a restaurant and there's all the famous people that ever been there.
But we give a little plaque of what each person does.
That's so sweet.
Yeah, you'll be like executive producer. Moses is, well, I guess we're all executive producers, but you could be like host, producer. Moses is producer, tech, glam. What would I be? Just the host?
Just Trish.
Just
Executive
Trish.
Just need
producer.
to be Trish.
I want to
That's
be
all
executive
we need
producer
to
like Zendaya. I want to be an executive producer. I need to produce a movie. How do I do that?
That's a good question. What
We
I
just
feel
need
like
to have enough money.
Yeah. Is that
Really?
all it is?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, also, like, once you get cast in a movie, like, I feel like it's easy to be like, oh, I want a producing credit on this. You know?
Right, like-
Because I feel like everyone just gets producing credits these days.
That's how I felt with Margot Robbie being a producer on Barbie. I wasn't ever even supposed to be Barbie. I was going to be a producer. I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, what does that mean? Like, no, you had to have been Barbie. Shout out Jinx Monsoon. She's on the new Doctor Who. Did you see that?
clip,
That's crazy. Amazing. Like, who's her agent? She was CAA. I want to get that.
I know. Jinx is everywhere.
She did Chicago. She did Little Shop of Horrors on Broadway. Now she's in Doctor Who. I was just like, that's
We gotta
huge.
watch. Well, finally, I'll get her to watch Doctor Who. Like
I'll watch it
I'm
for
a
Jinx.
huge fan of the show
That was a
for
wild
many,
clip.
many
She was
years.
good in it. That was wild. Damn, she's good in everything. I love seeing people like that. blow up.
Oh, and the freaking Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight is next
Delayed?
week.
Oh, I thought it was
it's
over.
Soon, right?
I thought it was not going to happen because he's like too old now or something.
Oh, we're supposed to interview them in Texas next week. Or
are you going?
Maybe this week. Maybe it's this week. I don't think I'm going. I said I would edit it, but so
that's
if you
fun.
see the TikToks,
you should go because you've interviewed Jake before.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
For the wedding.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Dramageddon is just too on my mind. I forgot to interview Tati too, but that's a whole other story.
I want to go watch that too. There's so much
that
lore. Was it before or after Dramageddon?
After Dramageddon, pre-exposing Shane and Jeffrey, and her and her husband were giving me some Shane and Jeffrey tea. I completely forgot about it.
Where were you? At their house?
Yes, I was at their house in the studio where By Sister was filmed.
Wait, we can bleep out the location, but where do they live?
They don't live there anymore. They lived in Encino, but they moved to Washington. They sold because I thought Jeffrey was gonna she says this in the exposing Shane and Jeffrey one, but she thought Jeffrey was gonna pew her, so she moved away to a secret location. It was a whole. I can't wait for you to see it.
Oh my god!
I can't wait for you to get to that one.
Drama. How was that? I guess it was talked about, but I'm just like, how did I miss all this?
It was everything.
She might be the #1 drama queen. I mean, of all the dramatics of it all. I mean,
you're gonna die when you see it's her third video, so we still have to work
God.
our way up. But yeah.
She really is kind of Trish coded. She's doing 3 videos about this. It's like,
over
damn.
the span of a year.
Damn. And isn't her husband chill? Maybe don't make a video right now. I know Moses will say that to me sometimes, just and it helps. Sometimes it's just wait. When the Colleen stuff happened, I want to make a video right away. He's like, just wait. It took me a while before I made it. I was like, okay, now I got to make a video. And you can't stop me. And I remember I took a nap after and I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, because I was in my drama-free era. And then he's like, no, it's okay. People are understand. I'm like, okay, good. But you kind of need someone to reel you in a little. Because I do want to make a video after everything. I'm like, I want to make a video now. He's like, just wait. I was like, okay. And then usually after a day, you're like, okay, probably better I didn't.
Oh my God.
Because she deleted all of them. So obviously she should have waited.
She might have left that last one, I think.
Oh,
because that one was a year later. It was in 2020. I think June 2020.
Which one?
The Shane and Jeffrey one, the one where she teams up with James.
Oh, but didn't they get canceled a lot that year for other things too? Wasn't that the Willow Smith thing?
Yeah, so that was the precursor to everything else. You're gonna die when you watch it. I literally cannot
Isn't that
wait.
crazy when there's one thing that kind of trips it and then everyone's like, actually,
because it.
I feel like I have some tea on people, but it's I'm waiting for that moment where people will understand it more, right? Because if I come out and say something, especially me, people are just like, oh my God, drama Trish. But I'm I feel like if there's one thing that opens it up, I'm let me share my story too. Because if it's not that serious, if it was serious, I would just say it. But I'm saying when there's other things that open it up, it's kind of okay, well, actually, this also happened. Then people are more willing to hear it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe did it work in her favor then, or were people
I mean, it did, yeah, because it. Also, that was when the mask kind of slipped on Shane, because that's when he did that Instagram story, and then he had this weird tweet about he's that one that we saw in the video. It was him leaving the beauty community, whatever.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was when everything kind of slipped.
Not him leaving the beauty community after 1 year.
Yeah, and making one palette.
So I'm leaving the beauty community.
So that was. And then that's what made people go digging, looking at his old stuff, and that led to the Willow Smith, and then
Whew,
it was
internet.
wild. I can't wait for you to get to it.
I can't either. I love it. I loved it. That was so much fun. Our little Patreon days. Yeah. I wish we had AMC popcorn. I see the Doom bucket behind you. I wish we had that right now. That looks so good. Oh my gosh. Who do you think is gonna have a baby first? Me, Vanessa Hudgens, or Sophia Grange?
I really think yours is gonna be
first. Hillary Duff had her as May 3rd already, so she beat that.
Who else did you say? Sophia? Sophia's really far along too.
She said 9 months, 2 weeks ago.
Oh shoot!
And then Vanessa Hudgens, I think, was farther along than me.
Yeah.
She looks pretty.
I think either way, Sophia and Vanessa will have a really long delay. So
I gotta do it quicker.
Regardless, I think I think people will find out about yours first.
Because of you.
No, because of you. Because you'll be in Hot Topic 2 days later.
Oh, right. They'll kind of know. If I'm not doing Hot Topics, it's okay.
Yes.
That's true. I guess people wait, huh? Maybe I should wait.
Well, they're more the baby's privacy, blah, blah, blah. But,
right. Me too. It is funny. I actually did tell Moses that. I'm maybe we should wait until we come back to Hot Topics to announce we had the baby.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get so excited. I think last time I announced it too early. I mean, we were still in the hospital. I think next time I'll wait till we get out of the hospital. Because that's wild. You know what I mean? People come to the hospital and whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a good a happy medium, I think. At least when you're home.
When you're home and like away.
Yeah.
Not just having it.
Yeah.
I guess Spencer, was he live? I think he was live on Snapchat.
Was he?
Or maybe TikTok live.
Oh, I remember Heidi talking about that, I think, right?
But she said maybe that was like the pre-contractions. Like it actually wasn't the actual delivery.
Yeah. But they were like open about everything. Like she was talking about
really
like her breast implants.
Oh,
she
yeah.
Snapchatted them.
Spencer tweeted our clip with Slater. We were talking about how we love Heidi.
Oh, I love that.
And he's like, I love these girls. I was like, I love Heidi too. She wished me happy Mother's Day. I love being friends with all the cool girls. That's my favorite. Tara wished me happy Mother's Day. Tara Yummy. I love her. She's so sweet. We text back and forth.
I love that you're friends with her.
You know, friends, not like Tati friends where I'm like, don't go on anyone else's
Mentor,
podcast. We were talking about that. I was talking about that because even with like Tana and stuff like that, I'm like, I would never, the way Tati like just like shamed James, like I would never, if they went on someone's podcast who I absolutely hated, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, how could you do that? Like it's such a weird possessive
I was
thing.
thinking that too. It was like, especially like as a 30-year-old, I was thinking like, okay, what can I even relate it to? I'm like, I guess when like Brittany Brosny turned me down, I was sad for like a second, but like I liked the girl, like I watched her stuff, like I don't have any ill will towards her. I was like,
even like that's what's so crazy. Yeah, it's even when like Jojo was on Cancel. I remember people gave Tana so much shit, and I was like, because she had the stuff about
it was
Kalina.
like right after, yeah.
Yeah, but I was just like, it's fine. Like I'm not in possession of Tana. Like. It's fine. Like, I don't know. Like, it's so weird. It's like she does this for a living, too. Like, it's just odd.
Yeah, I think it's like, as a grown person, it's like hard to like really care. I'm like, okay, like, you know, you have your own life.
Is grown,
Yeah.
too. Like, that's older than me right now, which is like, I can't even imagine. But it is wild. I don't know. I felt bad for James.
I love it. This is the Dramageddon episode.
I know. Sorry. It's on my mind.
Our
Me too.
viewers are like, what did Tati do? Like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Our thumbnail is Tati and James. Dramageddon. Oh my gosh.
3.
Yeah.
We should start Dramageddon 3.
That'd be wild. More receipts come out. If anyone has receipts and they want to come on Just Trish, let me know. If there's more receipts that need to come out, I'm invested in it. As long as it's not my Dramageddon, I'm invested.
Jake Paul's
Oh, Jake Paul.
Anyway, I forgot.
You're talking about so many straight people. My head is spinning.
I know. This is the straightest episode I think we've ever had.
It really is. Wow.
And anyway, his tickets go for $2 million for the VIP package.
How do you even buy those? Where do you buy $2 million tickets?
That's a good question. Where do you buy them? Like, how do you make that charge on like your account?
That's a better question. Like, you
how do you clear that with your bank?
Like, you can must be, one of those unlimited cards.
That
or something.
is crazy.
Yeah, who makes a $2 million purchase? I guess you'd wire the money or something.
It allows fans to meet both fighters, sleep in overnight luxury at a penthouse suite, and watch the action unfold from first row floor seats. You get 2 ringside apron seats, exclusive stadium arrivals, security and escort during the night, a photo with Jake and Mike Tyson
together.
Yeah, in the locker room. Okay,
I love that.
Gloves signed by both fighters, a private green room with open bar, a picture in the ring after the fight.
Wow.
2-night luxury accommodation for 10 guests, and VIP lounge access and seating.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
It's like 10 guests. So usually like 10 people team up together to...
Yeah, it's only 200,000 each. I'm so bad at math. What is it? 100,000 each? 200,000 each.
I think 200,000. Yeah, 200,000.
See, I was quick with it the first time. Everyone go to patreon.com/JustTrish.
Together we
we want to go. There's 3 of us. We can bring 7 of our producers with us.
Do you think Tana gets like free tickets as like his ex-wife?
That's a good question. I don't think they talk like
I don't
that.
think so either.
But like, I don't know. Do they? That is weird. How can you be so close with someone and then not talk to them anymore? They must talk, right?
A little, right? Here and there.
I don't know, actually.
DMs? I have no idea.
I feel like she might have been in love with him, maybe more so.
I think so too.
It sounds kind of like that. We never go into depth, just what you see on the podcast, but I feel like she might have been.
And re-examining the past like content that they were making too, it sounded like she was into him. Yeah. She has a lore for sure. The Tana lore, the people she had with. She really does. Like, gosh, she's been kind of around. I forget how young she is because she's just been around. Like, I feel like she's been around as long as I have, and like it's so crazy. Joey too. We looked at his page. I was like telling Moses, I'm like, he's kind of been around a long time. I went to his page. He had like 13 years ago his first video. Yeah, and then he had the channel before that.
What was
Remember
that?
Winter Spring.
Oh yeah, wasn't his girl Brittany? He had a girl named Brittany.
He also had a
Brittany.
Brittany. Yeah,
I remember. She was like an actor later on. I remember we used to watch her casting audition tapes.
Oh wow! Yeah. And she's lesbian now. So
is she out?
Yes.
Okay. I remember people saying that, but I'm like, okay, is she or are they just okay?
13 years ago. Yeah.
We love it. We love my first video was 17 years ago. So 18 almost.
What was your first video called?
Right now it's called Trisha Paytas' first video. I changed the title. Because I looked the other day and I was like, oh yeah, I retitled it because people search for it. So I think it was originally called I don't know, I'm rapping Ice Ice Baby or something. So maybe it's
oh my God.
just me rapping. I don't really know why I did it. I guess to hear my voice. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's amazing.
But it is crazy to see that. You're like, oh my God, I was 18. That's so weird. How long ago that was. And how long this has been, how I've actually made a living for so long.
That's amazing. Oh my God.
It is crazy. Yeah, because the influencer life can be short for sure. People either burn out, or just over it. Like the Dolan twins are just bye.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Where are the Dolan twins?
I don't know. Maybe they just made a lot of money and invested wisely.
And Cameron Dallas. You know Cameron Dallas?
Yes, of course. He was in Mean Girls on Broadway.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
What a
where
slay.
are those guys? They were the hottest ones for so long.
It is crazy.
I guess that's when you're just hot, it's
They're we made enough. We can just go be hot on our own.
Yeah, and it's also do people lose interest if we're just hot? It's okay, we can only look at someone hot for so long, like a Harry Jowsey. I'm like, how long will you be just relevant?
It is interesting to think about, but they say even the D'Amelios and stuff. It's they, even though they're not as popular as they were, they kind of maintain relevancy, right? They have a TV show, they have shoes, they're doing stuff. It's kind of like Addison Rae too. It's you don't hear about them. But there's so many influencers you don't hear about that have 100,000 followers that have money and they build houses and stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm always TikTok especially. There's so many TikTokers who buy houses, build new, and then how are they making money? It's so weird.
I guess just a lot of brand deals.
Or Haylee Baylee, not to go back to her, but I'm how did she have a $17,000 rent? That's crazy. I guess brand deals, but she doesn't have that many.
Yeah, I mean,
Chris Olsen's getting paid.
Yeah, he has a brand. He's everywhere. Well, Haylee Bailey's also at every event too, right?
You think she gets paid for it all?
I think.
Okay.
Maybe
they're getting bank. All I know is my biggest brand deal is maybe $10,000. So it's always crazy to me that these people could be getting $100,000 for a brand deal.
Yeah.
So maybe
It is interesting because at least YouTube it differs, but you can obviously make more from a YouTube video than a TikTok. So.
Yeah, I don't know. TikTok, I've never made money really, really, really. So even the ones I do fashion, it's not that much. It's just not. So there's no way I could be having $70,000 a rent.
We just at ET, we just started getting monetized or whatever with their program, and then it sent the notification, and it was your monthly was deposit was $72.50.
Oh, yeah.
I was damn, we have some hits in there for $72.
But even mine too. Sometimes I get 15 million on a tavern one. And it still only be $6,000 for them. And not only, but it's $6,000 for the month. When that one person's I make $4,000 for one TikTok, I was well, damn. Mine's
for one, yeah.
Mine's if one goes viral, maybe I'll get 6,000. Definitely not that anymore. It's definitely gone way down, maybe 2,000 or something like that. Again, not bad, but I'm not paying $17,000 in rent with it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it is kind of. TikTok to me has always been the lowest paying with sponsors and everything. But maybe they have really good agents.
Yeah.
Or managers. I don't know.
Yeah, and Haylee Bailey is very marketable. Because she used to be a model, right? So I imagine when she gets ready for these events, whatever, it's okay, I'm sure a makeup company wants to be use this foundation when you're getting ready, something like that.
Probably.
I think, right?
I actually don't know the extent. We should have her on. I hope I'm not being too mean to Haylee Baylee. I hate when I call people out for cancellations because it's never fun, but also it's she's trending all over my page. Yeah. Her whole thing was her in the flower hat and dress, and I was just okay, let's talk about it. But I never want to be mean because it is not fun.
But you've been there.
That's what I'm saying. I feel I can relate.
You at least come from a space where it's
a good intention
you've experienced space. That similar thing.
I'm the Kelly Osbourne of the podcast world, just talking a little too much, but it comes from a good place.
Well intentioned.
Yeah, people can forgive it. It's okay. Their podcast is wild. The Osbournes one. Oh my God, that one's always wild. Yeah, all four of them still. I was they're just crushing it out. She looks good.
I saw another podcast clip with Harry Jowsey and Jake Shane, and
they were on one together.
Yeah, Harry was on Jake Shane's on Octopus Lover.
Oh, really?
So I love when you call him Octopus.
I love Octopus Lover. I love it. What did he say?
Well, he was talking about an influencer girl with veneers who has really bad breath.
Okay, not me. I don't have veneers. And we never met.
Every time he sees her, he's and she talks close, and he's always oh, disgusting. Here, have
Octopus
some gum.
was saying this, or Harry?
Harry was telling this to Octopus.
Harry's so much. Like, just chill.
And then there was a clip of him on Canceled. It was like early days because it was the newspaper background.
Okay.
But Brooke was there, so not that early. About him talking about Tana's breath. So everyone made the connection that Harry was shaking Tana on Octopus's podcast.
Wait, because why? What was happening on the canceled episode?
On the canceled episode, he was talking about specifically about Tana's breath and how sometimes her breath smells or something. And then so people.
He said that on her own podcast.
To Tana, yeah. And then
I hate that guy. Oh
me
my
too.
god, what is his deal?
More reason to not like
you're
him.
face to face with someone. What is he saying? Like your breath stinks? Like what the hell? Like okay, maybe your dick stings. Okay, she's being so nice about it. You are British, you know what I mean? It's just like that's wild. Maybe that's why.
Australian.
Oh, he's Australian? No, he's not. What? Okay, I take back the
Even worse.
even worse. Right there, you go. Even worse. I don't know. I know nothing about Australians.
They're basically when the British sent away their prisoners. They sent them to Australia. That's what
Wait,
Australia
really?
is.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's a prisoner. Okay. That's wild. Why do people hype him up so much? I just don't get it. Riley
That's what I
Arnold's
was
following me. I'm
wondering
going to
too.
get the tea from Riley
Yeah,
Arnold.
we got Riley. Calm on down.
Gosh, I want to know.
Because he is just really annoying me lately. I don't know. I think that last week's episode we were talking about him, I realized I just don't like him. Before I never really
Yeah.
thought about him because I'm just like, I just didn't know anything about him. Like literally,
Same.
I know his name is Harry Jowsey.
He's on
I
Dancing
know
with
he's
the
Australian,
Stars.
and I know he's tall, and that's about all I know.
That's all I know. He does OF, I guess.
Yeah, and I know he has a hot roommate. and
Who's
that's-
his roommate?
His name is Christian. I think he's from New Zealand
Okay.
or Australia. I actually don't know now. One
Don't
of those.
confuse the Kiwis and the Aussies.
But you can confuse the British and the Aussies. No problem.
They're the same. They really are the same. It's like Scottish and
Irish.
the guy that actually unalived his wife, the gold, white, and blue black dress, he was Scottish. Like we're just saying how there's no crime that happens there, and then we see that. I was like, oh, okay. The Scottish people are wild. And Baby Reindeer too. Martha's like, that actress doesn't even seem Scottish. She's like, she's not. She's British. Like she's putting on an accent to act like you, dummy. Like
Oh
what
my
the heck?
God.
She didn't even know. She was confused too.
What a transition.
I know. Sorry. I love Scotland. I want to go over there this year for traders, and also I want to be in Joseph. CAA, get on that for me, please. Thank you. I'm hoping it works. Oh my God, they offered me a role on a TV show that was supposed to film this week in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah. I was so sad. It was for an influencer. I wonder if it was real or they were just like
The
saying
White
like,
Lotus.
oh, could you imagine? I was so sad. It was actually like, I don't even know the show's name. It's on Fox, I think. I don't know. They said the show. I'm like, I wonder if this is they really wanted me or they were just like dangling it. Like, look, we got this for you, but we know you're having a baby. So like, you know what I mean? I was so sad. They're probably being honest about it, but I was just like so sad. I was like, oh my God. And there was like for the 20th, I'm like, I think I'm literally having a baby that day, but damn, I would have loved to gone over. That would have been so great. Do you think they really wanted me or think they just were, it was like a casting notice and like, this could have been you?
I think they wanted you. Just somebody along the way didn't realize your due
That
date.
pregnant?
You know?
Yeah.
They don't like we live it every day. They don't really.
That's true. Yeah, no one cares that much except for us.
I mean, if you want to have the baby in Hawaii, we can take it.
I don't know if we can. What if I had it on the plane?
Then the baby can free for life, fly
Free
for free.
flight. Oh yeah, like
Fly
if you
for
have a
free
baby
for
at
life.
Disneyland or something, you get free Disney. I heard that.
What?
That was a rumor. I think
No,
it was
there's no
disproven,
way.
but-
That's actually so
in
funny.
general, yeah, people that if you're born somewhere,
Ooh.
you get.
Where should we go? Bangin Buns?
Yes, you beat me to it. I'm so mad.
That would be everything. We get free chicken for life. We gotta have them on. I want them to cater this podcast because right now I could go for some chicken. I'm like so hungry. I was
They
like, oh my
catered
gosh,
Coachella.
they did.
Or it was the Shein party at Coachella. But
Really?
yes.
Bangin Buns?
I did a whole deep dive.
Oh my God, they're really crushing it because Shein's a big
I mean,
party.
they said that they'll send. I mean, I'm sure they can. End of every podcast, just send us.
Bangin Buns, please.
I really want that chicken so
Oh,
bad.
our
right now,
after
even
show
though-
is just the Bangin Buns after show or eat the chicken. It was so good. Oh my gosh. If we didn't finish this late, I would go over there. Like last time we finished early, like noon, I would have been like all the way over at Bangin Buns.
I
But
wish it was closer.
it is so
They
far.
need a valley, like a this side of the valley. Location.
Yeah, it's deep in there.
It's too far, but it's so good.
I know.
Well, time to open one in Westlake.
I would
We can
love-
be an executive producer on the.
Oh,
Oh my God. And they're so good. But it's like, I wonder if they're like, we were talking about this. Do they actually cook the food, the owners?
I heard that they were like they started the recipe. They were making it in the parking lot, and that's how it got famous.
And they just
at
taught
first.
the other people.
Yeah,
But they're always in that location. So that's why I'm like, okay, are they always there?
that's true. Yeah, Maybe they're from the Valley originally, so maybe that's why.
Their mac and cheese was so good. They even said, actually, I didn't even tell you this, but they're like, oh, we're like making the cheese now. It might take another 20 minutes. We're like, we'll wait for that mac and cheese. Because I know I was like, oh man, I was already like, I was like, okay, you should be home around 12:30. I'm like, oh, it's gonna take a while to get there, and then we had to wait another 20 minutes, and we had to film. It was like, it's gonna be a whole thing.
But it was so worth it. Moses, you really need to have it.
I know. We gotta maybe go out this week sometime, like right when they open at like 11.
Yeah, it really
Before
is.
I have
worth
this
it.
baby.
It is so good.
Oh, she's moving. I hope I'm okay this episode. I really feel like I'm like out of my mind. I feel hungry and I feel hot. I'm so sorry if I come across negative in this episode. I'm not trying to. I feel like I feel like I don't know the full story either of everything I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm giving half the
acceptable.
stories.
I think maybe the title is Pregnancy Brain for this episode.
I don't think that's a good clickable title. We'll do the titles to Oscar.
in the description.
Moses' title.
In the description.
Well, but we do need a disclaimer. Yeah.
Just Chat GPT something about like
I'm about to give birth.
and
We
all
need
the
Jimmy to
subjects.
put a graphic at the beginning.
Yeah, just so you know, this is what's happening in this episode.
So don't take anything.
I know, don't take it.
Our new allegedly is Pregnancy Brain.
Yeah, Dave Portnoy, you can't say anything about
I literally
us.
gave half the story to all those things, and I'm like, I really feel like I didn't give a full.
And I knew nothing about any of the straight man news, so
I know,
that was
I'm
worse.
like, wait, did I even say anything? Because we were talking so much about George and Logan, and then when I just said the story, I'm like, did I even say any of that? Probably not. But Fashion Nova sent me this dress, and we're not sponsored by them on the podcast, although I am sponsored by them in real life. We're back. We took a 10-minute break. That felt so much better. I did have to pee for the past like 2 hours. The pressure is insane right now. The pressure on my bladder, like I really thought like my water's gonna break right now. Like it's crazy. The pressure is crazy. I just like couldn't even think
I
straight.
can't imagine what it feels like. It kind of trips me out thinking about it.
It's
Like there's a
crazy.
baby in there.
Even when I think about it, like the moving, like every time I give like Moses hands to feel, I'm like, that is wild. There's like a full grown baby. She's like 8.5 pounds. When we went to the doctor last week, she's like 8.5.
My mom wanted to know how much Malibu, and I told her that.
I love that. Okay, yes, mama.
My mom was like,
Random.
She's like, how much? She asked. She was like, how much does a baby weigh? I'm like, oh, she said 8 pounds. Well, she's like, well, how much did Malibu weigh? She also thought your baby's name was Levi, not Elvis. I don't know.
I love that. Oh my god. Well, she like mixed the letters around.
Yeah.
That's kind of everything.
She stays up to date. She follows you now.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout out, Mom. Is it Mama Gracie?
Yeah.
Shout out Mama Gracie. We love that. Malibu was 8 pounds, so she's bigger
same.
than Malibu right
a
now.
half pound bigger?
Yeah. And supposedly they grow a half pound a week. This was like, girlfriend, like you're cooked. You're ready to come out. So it is wild. I don't know how to even describe it. It's so crazy. It's so crazy when they come out of you too. It's like, oh my God, there was a full baby in there. She doesn't feel as heavy when you carry her. For me personally, it's like when the baby comes out, they feel so much heavier. I'm like, I don't really feel that much heavy, but it's just like, I don't know.
Actually,
I really feel
that
so
is
much.
crazy. My cat is like 8.5 pounds, and like carrying him, I'm like, oh, you're kind of heavy. I can't imagine
Right.
that.
And it's in your belly. I guess you're
Yeah.
just like, it's like you're holding
Plus,
everything
all
better.
the
But
fluid and stuff though too. So that's like literally,
it is.
yeah.
I know. I was feeling it, but we went to the bathroom. I had some Cheez-Its. What did you have?
Mina cookies, shout out Pokemon.
Shout out
Those
Mina
are good as hell.
cookies.
I was literally, once you said break, I'm like, I'm running to go get some Mina cookies.
Yeah. We usually like wait until the Patreon break, but I was like, I'm gonna pass out. I felt like any moment. I'm like, oh. Mo said it's been funny. I hope so. I'm like, I actually have no idea. I literally said that to him.
I kind
was
of
like, are you
out.
sure? I was like, we've talked about nothing.
You're pregnant. This might be the last one before you
gosh.
give birth. It's a rare opportunity, one of a kind.
I hope we make it to next week. I have a sponsor next week too. We'll see. We had no sponsor this week, so it would have been the perfect week to give birth last week, but we'll see what we can do.
Any sponsor will be happy to be right when we come back after.
Yeah, but we might not be back. What if we give birth on like next Monday?
We have such good ones banked though that like
That's true.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying is like they'll be happy even if it's a week later because you're coming back.
No, but we don't have. What if we don't have sponsors that week later, and then it's just like whatever.
So we just postpone it if that week we don't have a show.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure they won't. They'll
Sure.
understand.
Okay.
And if they don't, then it's problematic because you're a mom.
Yeah, I'm pregnant. You can't discriminate against
Yes.
me. I think there's a whole movie with Lindsay Lohan about that, how she pretends to be pregnant so they can't fire her.
You know what? I hate when I do this because I watch like part of it and I don't finish it. But on, oh my God, Jesse and Lily's podcast.
Shout out
Do we know
Lily
them?
DM yeah.
Do we know them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
They talked about a girl who was faking like she said she like disappeared for a little bit, said she was pregnant.
Oh yes, the influencer.
And then faked a miscarriage and everything. I was like, that is crazy.
That's wild. That's crazy. Was it for Patreon or something too?
Yes,
they said
to subscribe to the Patreon. And then it was like, you guys are weird and parasocial for like being so attached to my life that you would get excited for my pregnancy or miscarriage.
Oh my
care about my
what?
miscarriage.
People like there are some people who are so dumb online, like these the influencer, not the fans. I'm like, God, these people have like no, like what? How do they function in the world? Like, how are you anybody?
Why would you blame people for caring about? That's your whole career. It's like you should be thankful people
Are. I know. I do. That is my number one thing with like people wanting like privacy and stuff when they're like an influencer in your whole life is like, it's like one thing to be an influencer like Mr. Beast or whatever, where it's like not your life, but if it is your life, and then people like why, like when people break up, why do you care? It's I don't know. You made a whole couple's account, you know, like that's why we care. Like that's so weird. People are so odd that way. There's just too many influencers. Unpopular opinion. Too many influencers. I wish we were a little more exclusive in our. I do feel exclusive enough that I've like been around for so long, so I do feel like I'm in a different category. But there's just so many, and they say stupid stuff like that. Like the people are like, it's a hard job. Why do you guys care if I have a miscarriage? Like, are you dense? Like. There's no common sense.
Yeah, it's tough because then like whenever it gets picked up by the news, it's like, oh, an influencer said this, and this is like, then everyone's like, oh, this is the problem with influence. Yeah. You know, like everyone goes down with you.
The guy that's like $4,000 for an hour of TikTok. I'm like, you sound so dumb right now. Like you sound so dumb. I hate it. God, people are just so out of touch. I don't know. Or the one who's like, I'm just like you. I got a couture dress for free, so I didn't pay the designer. I'm like, girl, sorry.
I'm relatable.
Sorry, Haylee Baylee. I love her. I feel sad. I don't know. I don't feel sad. I feel very happy. I just have a baby in me. Which is a lot of emotions right there. When you have, luckily you can blame a lot of it. Dr. Drew's coming up, and he did tell me like a lot of it is hormonally justified. So
see, there you go.
That's coming from a doctor.
Yeah, you got to own it. And then you also have like a few months after of like all those raging hormones too.
Oh,
so
up to a year, he said. I was like, okay.
We have a whole year of
but past a year, no. Because then I was saying like the one who left their 16-month-old at home. He's like, no, that's past a year. That's not that. That's like. It's like, okay, that makes sense. Because after it is like the year mark where you become magically yourself again, which is kind of cool. I remember at her year birthday, I was like, we were doing Vegas, we're doing the pod. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting the groove back.
But they say even physically it takes 2 years to recover because it's such a huge undertaking.
It's a lot in there. Anyways, we're back. I had some apple juice. I feel like that maybe helped a little bit. You know, Riley Arnold is a type 1 diabetic.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. I started following her on Instagram back, and she said, like, I got the diagnosis. I was like, oh my God. I guess she could take Ozempic.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God, then.
Does that regulate your sugar? But would she lose weight? She's so tiny. She doesn't need to, is what I'm saying. But
good question. I think if you're. I actually have no idea. I don't even want to like say
I
think.
Know, I
really have no idea. I have no idea. Well, no. I have no idea.
Yeah. We're not medical professionals over here. I know. Dr. Drew talks about Ozempic too. I can't wait for that episode. It's coming up soon. I love Dr. Drew.
Well, I guess that's a good segue back to Harry Jowsey, the Riley Arnold.
Oh, right.
That's a problem because like with the Harry Jowsey, Riley Arnold stuff, I feel like everyone, like we learned so much about Harry was the one shoved down our throats when like really we should be talking about the star who is Riley Arnold, who's like a dancer. She was the one that's like actually on the show.
Yeah,
you know what
18
I mean?
years old, so talented. Like,
yeah, she should have been like the star. And
we love
Harry
her.
Definitely, profited off of that showmance or whatever.
Yeah, what is it? Exploited it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't exploit an 18-year-old.
And yeah, him on the Octopus podcast. I don't forget
what is it? I don't. You don't have to look it up. It's fine. I mean, it's shout out, whatever. Kind of is everywhere. Who was he interviewing the other day? I was like, God, he really is like everyone and everything.
Another actor or music, someone famous recently.
Yeah, he's always with someone famous.
Yeah, who did he have recently?
Great PR people. I don't know. I saw
someone traditional. I forget who.
Yeah, he gets a lot of traditional people. Yeah, it was like a musician. I can't think now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he had Harry Jowsey on.
He had Harry Jowsey on his.
Yes.
Oh.
He was on Octopus. Harry was on Octopus's podcast. That's why he talked about Tana's breath, or he didn't say the influencer girls with veneers name who talks clothes.
Ew. Also, like a guy who just like talks about that stuff. It's like you're so weird.
Especially their friends.
That too. Yeah. You guys like helped each other and stuff like that. You're odd. You're so weird.
Yeah.
I think anyone who talks about people's like anything, like the way they smell. Also, I've been so close to Tana, never once had smelled bad breath, whatever. It's like just such a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Maybe it was your stinky breath you were smelling. Sometimes people do have the stinky breath, try to be like, oh, something smells. It's like, it's you. I've had people with body odor do that. They'll be like, something really smells. And I'm like, it's literally you. And they don't understand that. So maybe that was him, honestly. And I kind of think that because you do smell your own breath, right? Like you can smell your own breath. So.
And like he talked about like wanting to hand her gum and stuff. I'm just like, oh, it's also a story.
Like why?
If that's the most interesting story, because that was the highlight. That was a clip that was on the podcast TikTok account. You know what I mean? That was the big takeaway. So I'm like, if your most interesting story is that
someone else has bad breath,
then okay.
Yeah, you're a loser. Like there's nothing going on. That is what's crazy to me. Yeah, when people just talk about other people's like stories on their like, that has nothing related to them. Like he's not the cause of the bad breath. It wasn't like she was, on him and like got bad. Like you're just talking about that. Like it's so weird. You're so odd.
And it's not like a hot topic. You know what
right?
I mean?
Yeah, it's like you're just making up an own one. Oh God, ew, I hate it. Have they done canceled? I feel like they haven't done canceled since they've been back.
Oh, I guess they filmed some. When was the last canceled?
I haven't seen one.
The last one was like, oh no, they had one last week. I think it was their childhood trauma episode.
Oh, okay, I don't think I saw that one yet. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, and I think obviously that must have been
pre-filmed.
Yeah, because Tana's in Mexico, Brooke's here, I think.
Oh my God, baby reindeer over here, knowing everyone's location. Hassan's in New York, Tana's in Mexico.
It's also so easy because
I know. I'm just kidding. I love that you know that. I know everything too. I'm always like, look. Usually I do. Actually, I'm just kind of out of it with locations. Yeah. But
I'm trying to think do I know where anyone else is at? Joey's in London.
Jaclyn Hill is at my Popeyes down the street.
Wait.
She had yesterday on Mother's Day, she went by Popeyes with these like pretty roses and the flea market next to it. I was like, that's my Popeyes. Like, did she move here?
Jaclyn Hill's your neighbor?
I don't know if she was just passing through because I saw they ended up in Santa Barbara. So I don't know if they just like passed through, but I think they might because they said they lived out of LA and I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, and then I went to message her, and then it said something like I'm restricted or something. Like it had, it had a red X because I was like, oh, let me see if she messaged me back, and I was like, oh, we still follow each other, but I guess there's a restriction. Remember I showed you? I was like, oh, let me see if she replied, and there's like a red X, and I was like, what does this mean? Yikes! Sorry, Jaclyn. Probably deserved it somewhere along the line, but I don't know what I did because I was like, I think this is the one by me. And Candy Johnson, we live close to each other, so
I would die if Jaclyn was on your podcast.
I would love. I just feel like she doesn't like to get into the tea. I want to get into like maybe though. Sometimes she talks about her like past scandals.
Yeah,
because I think
she's gotten better.
I feel like her scandals are so unserious,
especially looking back because it was it was the furry lipsticks and Dramageddon were like similar time.
Was she in Dramageddon?
No, she just had her furry lipsticks at the same time as Dramageddon was going on.
Yeah,
or was it lipsticks? Yeah, lipsticks, right?
Yeah.
It was the same time, but like so in comparison to like all of that versus the furry lipsticks, I'm like,
Did her drama with Colleen ever come out? Like,
no,
is it not? I don't know. Again, I don't want to be here, Jowsey, telling other people's drama for entertainment. It wasn't even that. I want to say Jaclyn talked about it, but people may not have known it was about Colleen, so maybe I shouldn't. But she definitely did talk about it. How like an influencer like embarrassed her at like a party. They were doing like truths or dares, and someone asked her about her fuzzy lipsticks.
Oh, I had no idea. But I also haven't kept up with Jaclyn like that. But
it was a while ago, and people like speculated it was like about Colleen, and I'm pretty sure it was about Colleen.
Wow,
I think I heard that. We'll say it's speculation and alleged because I'm not sure, but I feel like I remember all that, and like she's kind of like, and she's like, why would she bring that up? I think Jaclyn talked about it, and she's like, why would this? And I think that's why she was talking about how she's not friends with influencers or people in California because she says I was so embarrassed. Like, why did she bring up my fuzzy lipsticks in front of like everyone at the party or something like that? I think the influencer accused. Like, oh, okay, you knew that there was fuzzy hair in your lipstick or something.
That sounds like a Joey Graceffa party because I'm like, where else would these people cross paths, right?
I think it was
because Jaclyn and Colleen were at
so maybe that's where all the drama goes down at the Joey Graceffa parties.
That's where
Thank God those stopped. Joey Graceffa just really the center of all the drama. Were you there? At that one with Jaclyn? Because I never saw I've never seen Jaclyn in real life.
Yeah, I saw Jaclyn at Jaclyn and Colleen. Yeah.
Oh, I never. What party was that? I didn't go.
One of the Christmas ones. I think it was. They had fake snow outside. I don't know.
Jaclyn was at that one. I did. Where they had like the snow slides.
I don't know if there was slides. I think it was just out front. They had fake snow. One year, I remember the snow slide year.
Okay.
But I do remember Jaclyn at one of the.
I never seen her in person.
I saw her that one time. I think maybe Nikita Dragon was there.
Oh
they all kind of blend in my head, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. That
similar.
era.
Yeah. Because I remember one with you where we did the white elephant, and then you got the thing I brought.
What did I get?
It was like the Harry Potter book, pre-J.K. Rowling being transphobe. But like the illustrated one. And you were so excited. I was like, wow, Trisha got my gift.
Yeah. Were we friends at the time?
We talked. I think it was one where we talked.
Was I by myself at that party? Was it the loner one?
It might have been that one.
One time I went with somebody. One time I was by myself. Well, a time I went by myself.
And then also, I think Nikita's gift that she brought was like a dildo with a furry tail. Do you remember that?
No.
Or a butt plug. It wasn't a dildo. It was a butt plug with a furry tail. Or no, maybe she got that one, and then her gift was a wig, like the Nikita Dragon wig. Do you have any recollection?
No. You remember the Bellamy hair wig she came out with that was so thin?
Yes.
Because her wigs are such slays, and then she's like, I'm coming out with my own wigs, and it's like literally so thin, and you're just like, what?
Yes, it was that.
I live for that.
God, what memories, dude. Those parties were crazy.
Were they? I don't know.
And it was just such a weird mix of influencers that like should never really cross paths.
No, influencer parties are never fun. I had one influencer party. I always talk about that, my 30th birthday. And it was like Shane and the Vlog Squad, and also just like random people. Then there was like just random people that I was just friends with, and it was like a mix of everybody there. I was like, okay,
it's hard to mix different.
It is kind of, yeah. Because also it's like, I don't know. Some people are snotty with other ones too. Like, I don't like this one. I don't want whatever.
Yeah.
I think one year I was just like, oh, I'm the it girl in all the groups. I'm inviting everybody. Because I know Gigi always came to my parties, La Demi, so I feel like it was always just an interesting mix of people. But that one was fun. I had like a casino night or something. Liza Koshy was there. It really was like the it girl.
Oh, at yours? Oh, wow. That is everything.
It was before they announced their breakup, because I remember we went and like took photo booths together. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty good times.
Your parties now, like the Just Trish party now, would be like also like the it girl group for sure.
It'd just be all girls at this point.
Yeah.
Like you.
And Ted.
Yeah, and Ted. He can come too. And Moses
he's
could
in
be
Australia.
the guy.
I think Ted might be back in Australia.
Oh, yeah. He's been in Australia for a minute.
Yeah, because he left after ours. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think maybe he's back now. He has new merch out. I need to order it.
Oh, my God. This episode is just a recap of everyone we follow. So sorry, everybody. They said you have 20 minutes left, and we're like, okay, let's fill it.
Talk, yeah.
Did we have a hot topic? We had something we were going to. Harry Jowsey. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, what else can we possibly say about Harry Jowsey? Oh, now, I think did the trailer come out for his Perfect Match season?
What is that? Oh, on
his
Netflix?
No.
I hate shows like that. Like, I'm like, these are people we don't know.
Yeah, and it kind of is spoiled because those photos with him and Jessica from Love is Blind,
right,
from 2023, like resurfaced. So obviously we know they connect in the Netflix
sit on these shows for so long, because it's also like Jess from Love is Blind was like so popular. Like, I was so interested in her, but it's like, after some time after those shows, you kind of don't care about those people anymore, because it's like that was so long ago. And
I don't really care about this. I like Love is Blind.
I love Love is Blind,
but I don't really care about this.
Isn't it crazy how when Love is Blind over, you just like forget about the people though?
I know.
You're so invested in the moment. Like, who's the girl that says she's like Megan Fox? I was like, oh my God, we gotta get her on. And
yes,
it's kind of like,
I love
forget.
Chelsea. Yeah. And everyone was talking about Chelsea. Travis Kelce was talking about Chelsea.
But now Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Everyone was weighing in. But now, even when they were like saying, they give updates, about the people from Love is Blind, I was like, who's that? Like the names?
I always think that too. Yeah. I never remember.
Yeah. So.
They're not good at parlaying their fame.
No. I guess at least Harry Jowsey did that. He started on Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, I have no idea.
Something like that.
I don't know what that show is.
Something about being hot.
Really? Oh, I thought he was just like an influencer.
I think he started on one of those shows of something, a hot dating show.
Do you know what parlay means?
Yeah, like you take, like you're successful in one thing and then you go into the next.
Oh, really? But what do they mean in like Pirates of the Caribbean when they say like parlay? Is that the same thing or is that a different word?
Oh, can you do a pirate sentence?
Yeah, he's like, oh, you remember he'd be like, you have to say parlay if you want to let something stop. Like, if you want to make something stop in Pirates of the Caribbean. She's like, I order you to stop in the power of parlay. He's like, parlay? Did you just say parlay? It's like a pirate code. And she's like, yes, if I say parlay, you have to let him go. Don't you remember that? Is that the same thing?
I've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I've seen you cosplay as Captain Jack Sparrow at the drive-thrus.
I'll have some rum.
Excuse me?
Yo ho, yo ho! pirate's life for me.
That was iconic. You've never seen Pirates of the Caribbean? What? That's like the biggest movie of all time.
Oh, I don't think it's the biggest movie of all time.
Yes, it has to
It's
be.
not the biggest movie of all
Pirates
time.
was so
It's successful.
big.
It's big, but it's not the biggest movie of all time.
That has to be. I saw it 10 times when it was in theaters.
I mean, it has a ride in Disneyland.
Yeah, it had, thank you. Parlay. I don't even remember that. I can't believe you don't know.
A negotiation conference, especially one between enemies over terms of a truce or other matters.
So it's different. It's not the same.
This is from in Pirates of the Caribbean wiki.
Oh, okay. Like if I say parlay, you have to let him go. Like that's always what I remember.
The root of the word is the French verb to speak. Specific. I'm not going to go into the rest. I don't know what.
But what are you saying it means? Because I actually don't know. I just always use that word. I think I use it wrong.
No, I think you used it right.
Parlay your success into something else.
Turn an initial stake or winnings from a previous bet into a greater amount.
So separate. It's a different meaning.
Yeah.
I just always remember them saying like parlay.
I literally I know the ride at Disneyland, and then I know your drive-through videos, and I feel like that's enough Pirates.
That's all you need to
knowledge
know.
I need. Yeah.
I think Johnny Depp might have gotten canceled. Speaking of canceled, I feel like kind of people are over him because his movie was supposed to open the French one, and then it just didn't.
And it made $1,000, I think.
How is that even possible?
I've
That's
never
so
heard of a
weird.
movie making only $1,000.
That's crazy. So what does that mean? 10 people bought tickets?
yeah, actually.
That's weird. Even if you don't know a movie, you buy tickets to it.
Yeah.
Just random one starting.
Uh-huh.
And then
You just
check it
have
out in
nothing to see
theaters.
and you just
Yeah.
go.
I was like,
And they didn't even buy popcorn and drinks.
How do you know? They don't calculate that as ticket prices. They might have. God, I saw someone buy their pregnant wife an AMC popcorn and nachos. I almost sent it to you, and this is not something I just made up. I almost sent it to you because that is amazing. She was in bed and it was 10 o'clock at night, and she had a craving for popcorn and nachos, and he came back with an AMC bucket and nachos, and I almost sent it to Moses. I was like, that looks so good.
So wait, we went to a movie with somebody else.
No, he just came back with the snacks right away. He went for 10 minutes, came back. We have an AMC right down the street, and I was.
In my AMC app, I saw that you can order food just for takeout. They have an option. Yeah.
Oh God, we gotta do another one of those.
Because what was the last movie I saw? Fall Guy or Planet of the Apes? Whatever.
When did
I
you
saw
go?
one of them. Planet of the Apes I saw Saturday.
You go see a lot of movies.
We have that membership, so we just
That's
go.
right,
Anything
yeah.
out, we just go.
Did you like Planet of the Apes?
No, I think I don't like apes though. In general,
Definitely not.
They
No.
kind of scare me.
Are they even around still? In real life? Where do you see an ape?
No, they all evolved.
They're all
None left.
humans.
That's what I feel. Because isn't that movie supposed to be dystopian, old?
Yeah, well, dystopian doesn't mean old.
What's it mean? Future.
Futurist. Future? I
So
think
it's the future, the apes take over?
Yeah.
The opposite of utopia, right? So
Yeah. T.
So the apes are coming back.
The apes were the dominant race or something. I don't know. I just don't think I like apes like that. They kind of scare me. That one that ripped the face off the lady.
In real
I
life?
know in the simple. Yeah, do you remember that? She was on Oprah.
No. Where'd you see an ape?
She had a chimpanzee. She had literally in her house. And
I don't think you're supposed to house them.
exactly. Yeah, and it and she maybe she raised it or
I
something.
think it was the friend of the person.
Oh, she came to. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason you're not supposed to house exotic animals, they do that because they're wild.
I remember Justin Bieber had a monkey, then he had to give it away.
Real?
Obviously, yeah.
Michael Jackson did too. Bubbles.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Justin.
Right?
He
He had
would
to
get
give
in
it
trouble
away.
all the time.
Yeah.
Because of that monkey.
Why was Justin Bieber so problematic?
I don't know. Well, Paris Hilton also had that little
Because you're a
monkey.
successful child and
People really didn't like him, but I also feel like he was victimized in so many interviews. Oh my God, he was really, people were just
Yeah, I
annoying.
kind of feel bad for him now in
Yeah.
retrospect. I never liked him, but now I'm like, oh, he seems kind of. I mean, I feel like he's on a healing journey with fatherhood and stuff. So,
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I think that'll be. They were pretty pictures. They're young. They're 30 and 27.
Mhm.
That's so young. I guess it's not young. I guess people have
It's
kids that
normal,
age.
yeah.
Yeah, but everyone now is having kids older, which is kind of cool. But love that for them.
I know, seeing all these people with babies. I guess I kind of feel like Kendall Jenner. I'm like, everyone around me has babies.
Do you
I'm
feel
like,
it? I feel like you're still so young. I feel like 35.
I feel that
everyone has
too,
babies. Yeah.
but I feel like a lot of people I went to high school with all have babies, or my
Really?
coworkers have a lot of babies. I'm like, oh my God. But
So
I
you
can't
feel-
imagine.
I didn't feel it. Yeah, 35. I was like, wow, everyone seems to be having babies. But I guess because Rihanna and Lala, they're all older. So I was like, oh, everyone's having babies around this age. But
Yeah.
I guess now with Haylee Bieber, who else was pregnant? Someone else is young and pregnant.
Oh my God.
Oh,
it was
Sophia Richie's
yeah.
young. Yeah. What were you saying about the ape? Oh, just nothing. Apes.
Just I don't know how I feel about apes.
Well, they're not real. I saw that there was actors playing them. Did you see that?
yeah.
That's cool though. There's one actor who's so scary. He was in Lost, and he plays one of the apes, and he's so cool.
I think I know. What
You
you're
know, he's
talking
kind of
about.
scary. He's like older.
Yes, he was like the main ape in like the James Franco one.
Yeah, he was in the movie Abigail.
Yes.
I love that guy.
And then I saw Fall Guy, which was also like whatever, but
Ryan Reynolds?
Gosling.
Oh, God,
Close
they're the
enough,
same.
yeah.
They're interchangeable. Was it good?
It was fine. It was fun. It was a fun time.
I love the movies. I want to go.
But I remember when this can lead us in simple life, I guess. Remember when Paris Hilton had a little monkey and then it was flying around on the bus when she
I'm flying around on the bus.
it was the simple life where the one where they had to take the bus, the Greyhound, and they had a monkey in the bus and it was jumping around all crazy.
I feel like that might have been like 3. I feel like the second one was the pink truck.
You're right. Yes,
Right,
interns was 3. That was the Greyhound.
Oh, were they like working jobs?
Yes.
I never saw it, but I like the theory. Like
that one's so good. I mean, they're all really, really good.
I guess I'd have to rewatch them.
I used to have them on DVD, and I would like stay at home and
so
watch
funny.
them all the time. All the time.
What did you like about it? Because honestly, if I'm being real, I like the idea of Simple Life. I think it was like a iconic show, but I never like got into it.
Oh my God.
Like I saw him here and there, but I never really saw it.
Maybe if you actually sat down and watched it, because I even.
What did you like about it though?
I loved. Like, and I still do. I'm like the cute girl bimbo act. I think it's like when it's done well, it is so funny.
You think they were better than Jessica Simpson? Because I feel like she did it so good.
I think they was better than that than the Newlyweds because I think Paris and Nicole together are funnier than Nick and Jessica. I think Jessica by herself is really, really funny, but Nick Lachey. I get that it was like, you know, like the stereotypical like macho guy who was like, you know. I was like, Jessica, like, how do you not know that? You know, but like a, you know, Lucy, Ricky kind of dynamic. But Paris and Nicole are both so funny that I feel like it maximized that joint slay.
Maybe that was the misogyny of me back in the day where I just wanted to see like a hot guy with a girl and I didn't like the 2 girls because I'm like, that's too much girls.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Because even when I watched Girls Next Door back in the day before I realized like, it was about the girls, I remember being like, I want to be Hugh Hefner's girlfriend. And rather than like, I want to be Holly Madison, I thought I want to be his girlfriend. And with Nick and Jessica too, I was like, ooh, I want like a hot boyfriend like Nick and I want to live in this house.
That's so funny. Yeah.
That's where we differed. But I feel like maybe now I could appreciate the Simple Life more.
Because I even rewatched it with my boyfriend in 2020, I think. And it holds up. Like he was laughing at it. Yeah.
I love that. We watched Girls Next Door together, watched Anna and Nicole together, and I'm like, yeah, they still hold up really good. So it's like it's always fun
Simple
to rewatch
Life
it.
is still really. I love season 2 and 3. Season 1 was good, but I like when they drive around, like they see different people.
Yeah,
that's more fun.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna rewatch it.
And now they have a reunion coming up.
But is it the Simple Life? Because I saw the teaser, but it was just like a blank TV.
I know they haven't revealed what like the project is. It's gonna be on Peacock, which I'm like, oh my God, now I have to get Peacock back. Although you have the Peacock plug, so
That's right. I haven't heard from them since. They sent me a passport cover and a laptop case, and I haven't heard from them since. Peacock, I'm ready. When is it happening? I have one troll account on Twitter that always harasses me. Wow, how embarrassing. You're not picked for the Traitors. They're filming right now, and they didn't pick you, and you lobbied for that. I was like, it's not really that embarrassing. It's not like that realistic, but okay. It's so funny. Anyways. Yeah, shout out Peacock. Well, I guess that's what her show's on all the time, right? Paris is in love.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, and then Nicole, I don't know where Nicole's show is. She was on the, oh my God, was the Babysitters Club reboot or something like that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And I think Nicole is still like so funny. Like, I think she did like a spoof of like a song. It's like she made a song about gems, like on TikTok, like a spoof song.
I haven't seen her. I've not seen her at all.
Oh, I mean, she still looks great. And like,
Yeah,
she's
of
still
course.
funny. Like in interviews, she's still like,
Yeah, she was always funny. I always liked her in interviews, and like the clips I remember seeing, like when I was a kid, like I did see some episodes. I always thought she was like the funny one.
yeah.
For sure. But maybe watching it now, I like could appreciate Paris Hilton more. I think I could never relate to Paris because she was like a tall, thin. It's why Zendaya too. I never got on the Zendaya train until recently. It's like, oh, they're just tall and thin, and I'll never be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As with something like Anna Nicole, even in my head, like I said, Bridget on Girls,
She's
I'm
like
like, oh, I could be
curvier.
that.
Yeah.
Which is like still unattainable. But yeah, maybe that's why. I don't know. And
I
I like
think-
Nicole Richie because she was curvy.
For that one
Kind
season.
of.
Then she got teeny.
Yeah, and even that one season, she's actually not
No,
even.
like,
Her
literally.
legs are sticks.
I guess just like when you're sitting next to Paris Hilton.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's definitely
But it is crazy. Like she got so skinny. But those shows hold up. I am really excited to see what they do because I still think that like even though their lives are very different and they're older, that like they're still very like tied into pop culture. I mean, especially Paris. Like she knows like all the influencers.
all over.
and,
Yeah, She just did Tar
Sorry,
Yummy.
I
I was
so
like, wow.
she's in the know.
Yeah.
For sure. So I think it'll still be like really solid and I'm excited to see what it is. But I remember when they filmed, remember they had the feud. Oh, you remember their feud at least, even though you didn't watch it.
No.
They had a big falling out, and then they still
In
had the
real life?
contract. Yeah, but they were still under contract, so they had to shoot the Simple Life separately.
What? That's so
It was
silly.
a whole thing. But they
Oh.
filmed it in the Valley, and I remember one episode they filmed at the hospital where I was born. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not when you were born, though.
No.
When was this?
Maybe like 2005.
Oh, so you're just like, oh, I was at the hospital 20 years ago?
And I lived down the street, so I'm like, damn, I could have seen them, you know.
Oh, that's so funny. That's okay.
But
I love that.
They were like so like pivotal in like my gay childhood. So
really?
yeah.
That's so, and it just, but like, why, I guess is what I'm saying. Like,
I mean,
you
the
just,
same way I feel like a lot of like
Yeah.
gay people love you. It's just like there's something about like the cute, like ditzy, like act, you know, where they're
Yeah.
actually like so fierce. Because then you also saw them like when they actually got pissed, you could actually see when they got pissed, and like they would like be serious and like shut guys down who like would try to like objectify them or whatever, or treat them
right.
dumb.
Okay.
So I think it was like that, like duality of being like funny, cute girls, like lighthearted, up to mischief, but then also like shutting guys
Serious.
down.
Yeah. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, and they had the little dogs, and they had the pink like pickup truck and everything.
It was
Like
just
it was
the
so
vibe.
fierce. Yeah.
There was a lot of those girls at the time. So that's why I'm like, because I like that vibe too. I like the Jessica Simpsons, Anna Nicole, like Holly. But I guess I just never gave it a chance. But maybe I need to give it a chance.
I think it would resonate with you now.
I also
even
think
now.
the rich element too. I was always maybe a little jealous of rich people because I was like, I never could be rich. So I like didn't like rich lifestyles. So I don't like Beverly Hills Housewives. Like I love, even though like Holly, Anna, all them were like rich, and Jessica, they like seemed more relatable. So maybe
I
that's
see,
it.
yeah.
As opposed to girls where it's like, what's the walls and Walmart? Now it's like funny. I appreciate, obviously I love the campness of it. Like of course I get it's joking. But maybe at the time I was just like, oh, rich people. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I don't know. But people love rich lifestyles too. You know, they love, not now, but you know, they did.
At one point,
now
yeah.
it's eat the rich. But Paris Hilton, I think, surpasses that, where they're just like, they love her because she is so over the top and whatever.
Yeah.
I love that too. Paris Hilton, shout out. I remember when I had a TV meeting for real, and someone asked about me and Tana doing like a Simple Life, but they're like, okay, but they're like, you know, these rich social girls that like grew up in like, you know, this elite thing going into like a farm. Like, what would your thing be? And I was trying to think, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know, because we're not those girls. We weren't brought up like, you know, bougie or something like that. I'm like, I guess like we never went to like college, so it'd be like us like, you know, go like figuring out like how to go to the moon or something, or like being at Harvard, or you know, like something like that. Not to say we're dumb, but we're not like educated. So I'm like, I guess it would be like that would be the equivalent. Because I was trying to feel like it. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, it's like we grew up, we're like normal people, obviously, like we grew up eating fast food and stuff, but yeah, I couldn't think of the equivalent. I don't know. I hate going to pitch meetings in general with TV shows because they're like, what do you see for yourself as a show? I'm like, I don't see anything. And then when they ask Simple Life and like, oh, like what would your Tana? I'm like, I don't really know. Anyways, I don't know. It's so funny when you go to those things. I'm like, aren't you supposed to have the show and pitch it? Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know.
But I still see that like Simple Lifestyle show for you too, because it's this very fish out of water. It's like two very glam girls who all of a sudden like have to like fend for themselves a little bit and figure out how to do all this like kind of like scientific stuff. Like milking a cow is kind of scientific. Like, you know, all those fun
Right.
elements are still like, you have to be like knowledgeable, and it's still like that fish out of water element.
It had to be like
to-
intellectual, I feel.
I
like
guess-
like figuring out like the cure to cancer or something like that.
Or
Cancer
even,
cure.
I mean, like the Simple Life interns, it was like them working, like trying to work like normal jobs. So it could also be very like that coded. Like you guys in like a office trying to do like office jobs. It's like you guys have never done an office job. I can't imagine.
I mean, I definitely have.
I-
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like I worked so much. Like I was I not fast food, but I worked like waitressing and bartending and like retail.
But like imagine you in like a normal like office environment where
Yeah.
it's like you are like taking calls and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you as a
Yeah.
receptionist is like
I've done
very-
it.
You've been a receptionist?
Yeah, for sure. I've done a lot of receptions. I used to work so many Craigslist jobs from like 18 to like 24. Like I was part-time and then I'd quit and whatever. But I think I've had like every job for real. That's why I was like, okay, I guess
Okay,
like
here's a new pitch. Every job that you have quit or got fired from or whatever, we revisit.
that's a good. Oh,
there we go.
God,
there
that
we
would
go.
be. I think I was fired from every job in like 2 weeks.
There we go. See, there's your
That's
show.
actually true. Yeah. I worked a lot of jobs. I couldn't hold a lot of
See,
jobs.
that's at least like 5 seasons. So
Okay.
we make a list of everything you got fired
Love
from,
that.
and then we go back, and then you get
Yeah.
justice. You become good at the job.
Okay, producer hired.
See?
I love that. You actually would be good at producing. You should come up with a TV show because people always like, oh, what's a TV show? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I have nothing going on. Oh, we're done. Mo says, stop it. Cut it. It's no longer good. It's no longer funny. God, the way you did that was so aggressive. Just good. Stop. Okay,
I was
well,
literally here quietly, just like telling her,
No.
okay, we're done.
I wish your bolognese was ready right now. I wish it took you 2 minutes to make it, but it takes a long time. Even if we went to go get the ingredients, it just takes so long.
I guess if you guys record the Patreon episode.
No, we need you for that too. I thought about that last night too. I was like, God, I wish I could have some bolognese right now. We gotta get quick food. That's what we gotta get because I'm gonna pee. Anyways, okay. Thank you guys for watching. Just stay tuned. We have an extended podcast coming. You thought this was nutty. It's going to be even nuttier. The wig is getting tighter. My baby's growing bigger.
a half a pound every
minute, really. We have all the tea on patreon.com/JustTrish, the extended podcast. People we don't want to bring up here because we just act like we don't know them. We're baby reindeer. We don't know them, but also we know exactly where they're at.
We know their exact location.
Love you guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I hope I was being good. I'm going through a lot right now, so physically.
This is the just pregnant episode.
This is the just pregnant.
It's not personal. It's just pregnancy.
It's just pregnancy for real. Don't take anything I said. I literally have no idea what I said.
We love everyone.
Episode.
We love you, Dave. We love you, Haylee Baylee. We love you.
Yeah, maybe not Harry. Don't talk about people's bad breath.
Oh yeah, we still enemy. Yeah. Harry and Matt Rife still my enemies, but everyone else
we live. Okay, bye.